Do you not know death when you see it, old man? This is my power.
Well, this is going to be an interesting one. I am excited to see how this one ends. Really badly, but what can you do? Anyway, let's bring in the guests, starting with...
Greetings, and interesting, that was in Romanian, apparently. The text was, anyway.
Yeah, probably. Anyway, let's see. What to do with our friend, the living lizard. Oh yeah, I should get a lizard clip from somewhere or other, but if nothing else, let's do this.
Stop bringing logic into a movie! Random, incoherent, juvenile shit happens, things explode, and people empty their wallets to see it!
Hello.
Oh, it's been such a long time since we had that one.
Yeah.
Happy golden memories.
Yes.
Romanian Smaug bottom text. Yeah, it's just the clip I found, I suppose. Alrighty. Well, let's get started. I'm excited to finally be finished with this.
Oh, the Flinty chap. Want to invite him on?
Sure, Raptor, if you want to bring him on, bring him on.
I already sent a link to him. However, Flint said that he wouldn't be able to make it due to mic difficulties, I guess.
Bother.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. It's a very scarce cast, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, this will probably make things easier then.
Yeah.
We need him to just say Omar or do that whatever that weird thing he was singing.
Yeah, we only have like 37 pages left to go.
You mean oh my?
Yeah, there was Omar, but there was also this thing he was singing dooba 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 doo or something at random moments.
I don't know. Yeah.
You probably had to be there.
I was there, I just don't remember.
Oh, then your soul's destroyed.
If it hasn't been already?
I don't know. You tell me.
Let's go with yes, since I've already tormented you enough with a certain man and childhood sausages.
Yeah, let's go with yes. So,
Yeah.
I guess I should probably narrate a bit to start with.
Yeah, you do that.
Where are we starting here?
I think a writer begins to clean Mary's darkening wound.
Okay.
This is surprisingly more graphic than the Peter Jackson one.
Oh, this will be lovely.
I mean, just like the main characters got like seriously like bleeding hurt more than they did in Peter Jackson's version. I mean,
Yeah, I noticed that there's a lot of emphasis on blood whenever like one of the characters is wounded.
Gushing red blood. A rider begins to clean Mary's darkening wound, but all the other riders are too much in awe to approach Eowyn. Is she still naked? Is she still naked, by the way? I guess she's still naked. Oh! The ninja chap will be on eventually. He's on his way home, he says. Excellent. Okay.
Look how Eowyn has just become like the Galadriel substitute now. now that John Boorman doesn't have her around, Eowyn's going to be just the next big best thing, so to speak.
So we'll have to have flame wars about which is hotter.
Oh god.
The last glimmer of life
No.
drains out of Theoden. The hornblower blows the same plaintive dirge. Over the mounds of rubble, stop please, thank you. Over the mounds of rubble at the breach, Gandalf and his followers appear. Some of the riders cheer, but are barely heard over the sorrowful cries over their companions, the howling of orcs, and the moaning of the wounded. Gandalf, followed by Denethor and Pippin, walks into the circle of riders. Denethor drags the crown behind him, hanging on a leash from his belt. I don't know
What?
why.
Wait, what? What is that? What's that about?
He's dragging the crown. Which crown?
Why? I don't understand.
This was never mentioned before. Mr. Boorman, what is going on?
What's going
Anyway.
on is I'm on acid. That's what's going on.
I think that I don't think that acid is mind altering enough to explain this. This has got to be some kind of secret drug that just destroys your critical thinking. It would explain Excalibur.
Yeah.
Boorman's the only person who has ever taken. He invented it, but then it was immediately banned. So.
Also, have we gotten any more like Aragorn, Legolas, or Gimli scenes from?
Nope.
Oh my god, he just completely forgot about them.
Yeah, there's been no Legolas or Gimli. I think there might have been one short thing with Aragorn, maybe.
I think that he was completely absent from our last reading.
Yeah, maybe
Except for maybe like maybe like a sentence.
Yeah, so Pippin runs to Merry's side. Gandalf kneels beside Theoden and gently lifts up the king's head, caressing his brow. Froth bubbles at his mouth, his face is gray. Whose? Denethor or Theoden or Gandalf?
They're both having a seizure.
Yeah, it's a jolly good thing when the really gross people aren't here. Someone would be saying something disgusting right about now.
Gay.
It just sounds like they're about to have a seizure.
Yeah.
Well, here's a Flint.
This is a film about space wizards intended for children.
Oh,
No,
greetings.
Yeah, this is a hard R-rated film. There's no way this was going to be made for kids.
I was very tired when Raptor sent me the link. I found it, I wasn't going to make it, but I saw this. I got a second wind, so here I am.
Welcome to this pinnacle of art.
Welcome to Dunn's torture chamber. Enjoy your stay.
Torture chamber? What are you talking about? This is a holler. What are you talking?
It's a very polite torture chamber.
Indeed.
Above the horn call, Denethor's crazy ranting is heard.
Our blood is rotting, and we fall into a deeper dream of terror. The Dark Lord will snatch our bodies, and we will still linger at the edge of life and become his accursed wraiths. Gandalf, surely you can heal us of the Black Shadow.
He lies down beside Theoden and grotesquely goes through the motions of dying, although he has suffered no wound. Yeah,
it's an act of God.
Sorry?
It's an act of God.
Yeah,
it's like Padme. He died of sadness.
Oh.
So he's dying of grief, or maybe he's just dying of being nutters.
He's dying because he wants to get out of the script.
There actually was something like that in Mad Magazine, sorry.
Get me the hell out of here.
There actually was something.
Way sad.
Man, now this is meta.
There actually was something like that in a Mad Magazine parody several years ago where a couple of people are shooting this guy And he says, I have only one last request. What's that? Don't miss. Anything to get out of this rotten movie, he says as they shoot him.
Yeah.
I don't remember which movie it was. It was a very weird movie. I mean, it was in Mad Magazine. Of course, it was weird.
Yeah. What can you do?
Gandalf.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry?
No, I was
You going to say something?
going on. No, I was just clearing my throat. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Gandalf does not answer Denethor's provocation. The distant din of high-pitched bugle calls. High-pitched bugle calls has caught his attention. He rushes off, drawing his sword, his cloak billowing. The hornblower.
Sus.
Very, very indeed. Oh my. That's a coin of phrase. Continues his dirge of distress.
Not me. Dirge of distress. When you try to come up with like some form of like alliteration but fail, you end up with dirge of distress.
Yeah.
Me and the boys win Dirge of Distress. Bottom text.
Yeah. Mary's eyes half open. He sees
Like, isn't that kind of self-implied because the dirge is referring to some kind of like funeral preparation for one?
Yeah, dirge originally comes from the name of one of the psalms in Latin. Dirige me Domine, guide me, O Lord. It's one of the psalms, but then it turned into dirge, which is a funeral song of distress. He talks as if in a gaze.
Damned? Why is there an extra D? Did this go through no proofreading?
Wait.
Dance. As if in a dance. It does say dance. Bother.
Okay. Oh, okay. I thought I was going crazy because I searched up dans and it's not a word apparently.
Well, in Italian, it's the plural of dance. Danza, danze. But this isn't in Italian, so...
That's the problem. This is not Italian.
Mary's Italian.
It's me, Marietta.
Hello, people. I am a hero.
And I am Jester. And I am a Jester, Mary.
And I am inevitable.
Oh no.
No, that's...
Heroes and jesters are equals in the Shire, aren't they? We shouldn't forget the dear old Shire.
I've forgotten about the frickin' Shire. It's been almost 12 hours.
Let's go.
Exterior. Outside the gates of Minas Tirith and Pelennor Fields. Day/gloom. Shrill, piercing bugle calls, obsessively repeated, announce the advance of a great horde of orcs who come pouring over the knolls. I think that's like a hill or something.
Yes.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah. The orcs that were fleeing before the citizens of Minas Tirith turn about. I don't know why that's funny, but it kind of is. Maybe I'm thinking of the French Revolution. That's what makes it funny.
I just realized it was the orcs who were on the grassy knoll.
Yeah.
It's the orcs that go swimming.
The orcs assassinated JFK.
Yeah.
Really?
The citizen someone makes me think of storming the Bastille or something like that. And Allons enfants de la patrie and all that good stuff.
That actually sounds refined, unlike the script.
Well, you have a point, although the script, he does have a way with words. I'll give him that.
Oh, he does. He just is clearly insane and not having sex with his wife enough.
No comment.
I'm actually just like typing down all the words I'm discovering in my own little vocabulary bank document. Just making the most of them. I actually did until Flint mentioned that. Oh, it's not even a word. It's like, oh, typo.
So, did you write down? You're writing down Danze in that?
No, I wrote down Knoll and then plaintive, bold, bugle, and shrill.
You didn't know what bold? You didn't know the word bold?
No, like bugle.
Bugle.
Bugle,
Yeah,
like a
bugle.
trumpet.
That's actually even weirder.
Like Bugle.
Yep, like a trumpet.
They still have those
Have you
in
not
Canada.
seen? Have you
No.
not seen Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron, where there's a literal song called "Sound the Bugle" now?
No, I haven't.
Well, I haven't seen that either, so you're not alone there.
Valerian, you have missed out on most of the entertainment history. Of the
Well,
last 20
most of
years.
your entertainment history, perhaps.
Oh,
Actually,
there's
to be fair, I actually missed out on part of my entertainment history too, because I never saw the Indiana Jones films, for example. So
We also have like bugle weeds. We have bugle chips. We have bugle beds.
Apparently.
Hold on.
Shall we? Yeah, let's continue. I apologize for.
oh no, we're
yeah,
meant to
the
be making commentary, so hey.
Yeah, the bugle tangent.
The Daily Bugle.
So the
Oh, that's even weirder. Yeah, that's the name of the Daily Bugle's the name of the news agency.
Well, I thought it was just like I didn't know like the Daily Bugle like really like meant anything because I never heard of it outside of it being like the name of like a news like podcast for like a fictional universe.
It's still pretty funny though. Keep going.
whenever you're ready,
Yeah, go for it.
the
Yeah, it's
orcs.
just a word that doesn't really come up much at all. So,
Go for
The
it, Valerian.
orcs.
Every
First
time
judge.
Valerian starts, someone interrupts him.
sorry.
The orcs that were fleeing before the citizens of Minas Tirith turn about and join their fellows in thrusting towards the wall. Are we back in my territory?
Oh
my.
Oh my! I
My
think we're always
George,
in oh my.
Oh,
My George Takei impression is better than Flint's George Takei impression.
I think we're always in oh my territory on in the script. Oh, here's
you know
another.
what? You can have your George Takei impression. You're not hurting my feelings.
As a gay man and a human being, I want you to know, Mr. Homophobe, that we don't hate you. In fact, we like you. We like you very much. We like your strong, powerful calves. Your
Ew.
smooth, chocolatey head.
I think we need to move on now.
Is that John Boorman who's writing this
And
shit?
sweat.
Great troll orcs whip the air with red banners bearing the black evil eye. I'm just going to stop for a moment to note troll orcs.
Yeah, I like the variety of orcs. We have regular orcs, we have troll orcs, we have Uruk orcs from last time, and we have orc trumpeteers coming up.
Which proves that this is actually superior to Tolkien because Tolkien's so unimaginative when it comes to orcs. And this
Yeah.
guy,
The sub races of orc.
Yeah.
yeah. Orc trumpeteers precede the implacable onslaught, writhing frantically to squeeze out every ounce of breath into every trumpet blast. See, he has a way with words. He does have a way with words. I'll give him that. An orc trumpeter is struck by arrows. Blood gushes out of the trumpet and rains upon the orcs. This whips them into a lustful frenzy. Does it actually say that?
Rock raising eyebrow meme.
Apparently, yes.
Frenzy in the middle of combat.
They break into a run, but a lustful frenzy?
Okay, yeah,
Oh my!
It's actually because they're quite questionable.
Yeah, apparently orcs get turned on when you blow blood on them from a trumpet, apparently.
Also,
God.
just like, how much blood are we talking is coming out of this orc? And
Yeah,
spraying
it's
out
like- Like, are we in like like a Martin Scorsese film or like?
This is a parody. This is an unintentional anti-parody.
Yeah.
No, gotta have a
Just
little
like-
blood to lube up the old trumpet.
Do that weird music, please.
Yes, that's
Thank you.
the fucking saxophone meme. I forget what it's called. That's what I'm referencing.
Thank you. That's what we needed for this lustful frenzy. Thank you.
Apparently we stepped into like a Quentin Tarantino film where like blood just gushes out like a.
No, there's
like
not enough feet for it to be Quentin Tarantino.
Oh my
To
god.
be honest, Quentin Tarantino has more captivating dialogue.
Now, if you're talking about the scene where Gollum kicked himself into the swamp, now we're talking.
Now we're talking about the Tarantino. Yes.
Blood is such a turn on. Oh my god, this blood is like, yeah. I know this is disgusting, but I can't help it. Can't restrain my lustful frenzy. Oh no! Brightness that guy's in the chat.
Oh no.
Well,
You
you
highlight-
bizarre humans. While you bizarre humans read this degeneracy, I'm watching actually good Lord of the Rings. Be like Becca. Really.
Yeah.
Really?
This is entertaining in its own way, though.
Yeah, it's unintentionally entertaining.
Did she miss the lustful frenzy when they were getting blood rained on them?
I think that's what she's referring to.
Yeah,
I'm
I think
at
that's
least
the
glad-
popular comment. It was the lustful frenzy.
did you miss the Boromir Aragorn 69? Come on.
No comment.
I am both ashamed and proud that I understand exactly what 69 means.
Well, I think we all do. I mean,
I forgot about it since there's so many like weird names for sex positions, but I can't keep them all straight in my head. Since I heard what it was a while back, and then I forgot and had to be reminded when Writer Showcase 69 came around.
oh, okay. Yeah.
Things expiring.
Let's keep going, shall we?
Let's see. Where are we? The whole horde of orcs, a massive front, is running towards the walls. At this sight, the soldiers and citizens are suddenly sobered from their sword-happy interlude.
What?
What's a
What?
sort of happy interlude?
What does that
What does that
even mean?
mean?
This
This isn't really. My mind is not thinking about anything productive when I think of happy, sort of happy interlude.
The swords have like a secret like thing of alcohol in the blade, and it pierces you
Oh
with a
god.
little, like with a little horn at the bottom, so it just injects you with alcohol while you're holding the sword.
Or maybe with acid.
Or acid.
No.
Or
What's
sometimes
that?
both. You never know.
When you include the word interlude, it just means like you're like intervening like a period of time. There's no need to include that.
Yeah.
do you feel the heat in which the horse boil over in their riotous living?
They
Have we
flee
been in
to
the horses walking backwards scene yet? We passed
we got
that, yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, we had moonwalking
that was
horses.
a strategy that like Gustavus Adolphus would be proud of. Clearly,
I have
Never heard of that
no
person.
idea what you crazy people are talking about. Seeing
wait,
as
you
I
haven't heard of Gustavus Adolphus?
No.
He was from the 30 Years War. He was a Swedish Chad.
I got no
He-
idea what you crazy people
essentially,
are talking about. Seeing as the fact I have not been listening because I have no desire to listen to Dunn talk about sex acts. His poor Mormon brain can only imagine.
I hate to tell you this, Brightness, but John Boorman is actually weirder about sex things than Dragonlord is.
Wait, if you weren't listening, how did you reply then?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Maybe she has us muted, but she's still like, but
She has
she's still
subtitles
typing
on.
stuff. She has us all muted. Oh, it gets really funny in a moment.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
the gates are jammed by the citizens, who are now seized by panic. The guards at the gates attempt to organize an orderly retreat. The great horde of orcs squashes the people against the wall. reducing
Dude. Oh no, I read it. I don't know.
reducing them to a confused phalanx, 6 to 8 men deep, which extends from the breach walls. No, where are we anyway? Oh, God help us. Pardon
Breach.
me.
Which extends from the breach.
6 to 8.
Trampled. Where are we even? I don't know. To well beyond the gates. The onslaught of the orcs is murderous. The people in the back of the phalanx are squashed again. That's the word du jour, maybe, and battered against the wall, and trampled and suffocated. But the pro put up a furious fight against the orcs, and it's going to get weird.
Oh,
it wasn't weird before.
Not really.
Like, it's just repetitive. Like, we can't get the gist of what's going on. We don't need more like detail, and we don't need to be reminded about what's going on.
Yeah.
Where is freaking Aragorn in all this?
Yeah, like we need more Aragorn scenes to replace all this filler.
Yeah, we need Aragorn to replace all these orcs banging people.
Why? Why is there a scene of Denethor asking, "Hey, did my son bang the prom queen?" It's like, no, she banged the midget.
And it's like, and then he laughs despairingly or something like that upon learning that. I think that's maybe even that's what drove him mad.
Possibly.
The first, I need to try to get into my impressive voice, but it's really hard while reading. For some reason, I find it really hard to get my impressive narrating voice going. The first fighting line of the phalanx of Minas Tirith is made up of a chaotic succession of regular soldiers, such as archers, pikemen, and swordsmen.
Why are archers in the front line?
So basically,
death wish. Okay, that makes sense.
So have we proven that? I think it might be that John Boorman is a bigger idiot when it comes to constructing a battle than D&D.
Oh, I didn't know that was possible.
And sections of the populace among Minas Tirith. Among these are the bee cultivators.
What is that?
No, not the bees. Oh God!
Dressed entirely in leather with wicker masks.
Imagine like instead of like the ghosts that save Minas Tirith at the end of Return of the King, it's the bees.
Is he really fucking describing what these occupations are? Really?
And the bees.
Citizens.
So now we're all imagining like deadly killer bees that these bee cultivators release them and they attack the orcs.
These are the
you're not wrong. Dressed entirely in leather with wicker mask and bees swarming around their gloved hands.
Yes, that's what it says. Yes. So that's what I'm imagining.
These are just the classes of human you can play as in the John Boorman game.
Oh no, a John Boorman-based RPG will be frightening indeed.
Okay, blacksmiths with leather aprons and long-handled hammers.
Okay, I can continue. I can carry on for a little longer. Blacksmiths with leather aprons and long-handled hammers that they're banging people on the heads with. Farmers with an array of pitchforks and spikes that they're pointing people with. Women, some pregnant, some nursing, clad in armor improvised from kitchenwares, and they're banging people on the head with rolling pins, or else sometimes hitting them with their babies.
In the beginning, there were the four nations: bee cultivators, blacksmiths, farmers, and women.
Yeah.
The world was in harmony until the women nation attacked.
Yeah.
Until the pregnant woman attacked with the subdivision of women.
Is this Wheel of Time? Is this freaking Wheel of Time where you or something? But it's like, this feels like a parody. This feels like a freaking parody. It's like John Boorman doesn't understand that what he's writing is an awful unintentional comedy.
Only John Boorman, master of the 4 occupations, can defeat.
It's
No.
so dull because like there's no like we're not getting any kind of like main characters involved in the action at all. Like there's no like intercharacterization or intercharacterization or even any kind of like payoffs of any kind because there weren't any setups. It's just so dull.
Spoiler, but the bee cultivators are the ones who end up defeating Sauron in the end.
Ah,
Oh,
shit.
man.
Why'd you spoil it for me? God.
Spoiler.
Yeah, it's just like all of this could just be summed up with like 1 or 2 sentences. We
You know, I was
don't
really-
need so much detail on what the civilians are doing to fight against the orcs, or like how the orcs are attacking.
I can't believe you spoiled it for me. I was really betting on the farmers beating Sauron.
Yeah, I mean, oh no, my money was placed on the pregnant woman.
No, that's
Well-
in the 2021 version, or 2022
Well,
now.
Oh yeah, that's true. That this is the reboot of the John Boorman script. It's the pregnant woman that kills Sauron.
Yeah, that's the current year script.
It's going to be the pregnant bees who do it.
The pregnant bees.
We need to find biology and just become a pregnant bee.
I thought that we had left behind the crazy with
Yeah, I
the
don't like it.
sex pot Galadriel, but apparently it's still going strong.
I can't
You really
believe Glad. I
You really
can't
thought
believe
we left behind
Gladriel
the
had sex
crazy?
with the pregnant bees.
Oh my!
Oh.
Okay. The children,
Okay,
the
I'll
old, and
finish
the
this.
infirm.
I'll finish this section, and then
Yeah.
someone
Yeah.
else can have a go, and I'll be a human. I'll be a character.
Oh god.
Maybe I'll be Airmer. The children. Oh, yeah, the children, the old, and the infirm are on
Singular.
the walls.
Only one infirm.
Yeah.
To be fair, it could be singular or plural in this context. Are on the walls, hurtling down pieces of battlements upon the orcs. Onto the orcs, I mean, sorry.
There's
Through
so many
this.
thaws in that sentence. I hate it.
Something what in that sense, sorry?
So many thaws. I hate it because
Yeah.
it's placing too much emphasis on like it doesn't like allow your brain to prioritize what's actually important. So it just becomes really kind of like unenthusiastic to read. So it
You're
just
not
becomes like
enthusiastic?
it's not compelling at all.
You don't find the bees.
Okay, sorry. Go for it.
You don't find the. You don't find the bees compelling.
No,
What?
Dare you?
I find the pregnant bees compelling though.
Oh.
He's got a point there. Yeah.
I find the pregnant bees really.
Do you remember when the pregnant
Oh.
bees walk
Yeah.
backwards? That was interesting.
So,
Valerian has a pregnant fetish confirmed.
pregnant bee fetish, not. Let's get.
Yeah,
keep these things
misinformation done.
straight here.
Jeez.
I don't want normal pregnant.
Where's
You
you
don't
when
want-
you need them?
So
I don't want
through
human
this,
pregnancy. I want bee pregnancy.
yeah. So through this throng of humanity, Gandalf ways, trying to organize the men into a formal phalanx to resist the onslaught and to retreat in an orderly way.
Wade in the Gandalf.
Okay.
Okay.
If someone else badly wants to narrate, they can.
Okay, Éomer gallops into the circle of horsemen. He leaps from his mount and lands at Theoden's side.
Okay.
I can beat Denethor, and Dun, you can beat Éomer because you made a great Éowyn impression. I think it's suited for you.
Yeah, I'm Italian Mary, so.
Hmm
You're Merry and Pippin. I'm Airmare. Okay, I'll be Airmare. Let's see if I can do this. I'm gonna try to see if I can do this voice. Father. Did that sound? I don't think that sounded quite right. I'm trying to imitate Codex's Morgan Freeman impersonation.
Mother, father,
Father.
Smurf, I missed your Smurfy presence.
Father.
No, then.
Denethor is writhing on the ground, ranting crazily. My son, the Dark Lord took him, and soon he will take us all, pluck us from these vain efforts of war.
Why is he like a Southern Baptist minister?
Crazy begets crazy?
So crazy. So it's a pregnant, crazy pregnant bees now.
Southern Baptist pregnant bees.
Well, then. That's a sentence that's never been uttered before.
Yeah.
I heard 200 people utter it just now, last 5 minutes.
Pippin cradles Mary in his arms.
Already said death. Pippin, how is death in the Shire? I can't remember.
What does that mean? Why is death in the Shire somehow different from a regular death?
No idea. Don't ask questions.
Look, he
Just
placed the bed there
consume-
so he can respond.
Just consume perviness and get ready for next perviness.
Oh no.
Pippin strains to remember.
Death in the Shire? Do hobbits die? Oh, yes. Remember Sam's great uncle? Remember Sam's great uncle that we briefly glimpsed at when we were like 7?
Do you remember Sam's great uncle, who I myself cannot remember the name of?
Yes.
Actually, I don't
Mary-
remember Sam's great uncle.
Mary nods.
He became overripe. And fell out from being there into fireside stories.
What was he, a fucking fruit? What do you mean he became ripe and fell?
Mary
Right.
swoons away. Oh, this is my
You
life.
went down too far. You went down too far.
Content.
I know. There's the page ended, and then there was the page ended. I'm refreshing it.
The page wasn't over yet. There was like at least
There
one
was.
more paragraph.
No, there wasn't. I don't think so.
I think there was. Let's go back there. I think there was.
I was about to say, the story better not end on fucking Sam's great uncle.
Yeah, just Pippin trying to remember what Sam's great uncle looked like, and that's how Lord of the Rings ends.
We need Erwin sexy. Come on, you stupid machine.
Oh, no. Well done.
This. I don't know what it
Oh,
is.
Oh no, the power of Boorman compels you.
Yeah. Boorman has found our location and is now blocked all.
I wonder
all
if Gollum's gonna come back, or if him kicking himself in the fucking stomach's gonna be the end of him.
Yeah, I think that might be his death. Might have been his death scene.
Wouldn't it be a ride if Boorman possessed all our souls?
Oh dear, my. Oh no.
It's. Let me actually open this with Google Docs. Maybe it'll work better.
Boorman just ripping out your heart. Kalima, Kalima.
Kalima Shakti Day.
Oh yeah,
What
Blair.
the hell?
What?
No?
I put it into Google Docs,
And
and this is what happened.
It's just a. Oh.
oh no, I knew it. John Boorman was Australian.
Yeah. Oh, man.
All right.
The output of your Python program isn't what you wanted.
This
Yeah.
script is even not. This is even more nutters than we thought it was.
Maybe that's how we actually wrote this upside down. Like, this is like the authentic version of the script. Like, that's how we actually wrote it.
I
So,
said to
but,
Galadriel, "Are you trying to tempt me? Because I come from the land of plenty."
Yeah, but this is
God.
this was the end of the last page. Mary swims away with a smile on his face. That was it.
Yeah, I don't think we'd. Let's see.
Okay.
Well?
Eomer's head is buried in his father's chest. Theoden stirs, and his hand drifts feebly to his head. His trembling fingers draw the crown from his wispy white hair and drop it weakly onto Eomer's head. Then he dies with a spasm.
In a spasm. I don't know why that's funny.
He died,
Right.
yeah. He just has an epileptic episode and then just chokes on his vomit.
Something like that. I don't know. It wouldn't be funny in real life.
The writers cheer while tears run down their cheeks. Eomer, King of Rohan. Eomer leaps onto his horse. His tears give way to anger as he acknowledges the homage of the riders. Exterior, battlements of King Minas Tirith. Gloomy day. Clamor of horrified cries rises from the walls, far to the right, winding across the hillock and approaching Minas Tirith is a monstrous snake.
Oh,
What is this, Harry Potter?
yes. Remember the giant snake that almost killed, that almost engulfed the entirety of Minas Tirith, Flint?
Well, it's either that or it's a euphemism. But
Oh,
No! God, no.
Perhaps 100 yards young.
Maybe-
Wow, that would if that got inserted, that
Oh,
would
no.
kill somebody.
So basically, no comment.
oh my, you've heard of the Eye of Sauron. Now prepare yourself for the Dong of
The
Sauron.
monster, yeah, the monstrous snake is actually like Shelob's husband.
Oh my goodness. Children scream and their elders fall to their knees in despair. A shudder of horror trembles through the people of Minas Tirith. Gandalf is at the gates organizing the retreat. The orcs react to the calls of despair with brutish joy. Gandalf rears up on Shadowfax. He is perplexed by the sight of the snake. You and me both, bub!
I never related
Gandalf,
so
like
much
the most
to
relatable character.
I never related so much to a character than I do now in the script.
You wanted to say
whenever
Oh,
they say perplexity, the characters are perplexed. We're like, yeah, we're perplexed too. We can relate.
Finally, I can relate to a character in this script.
Gandalf's
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is happening?
Well, we could sort of relate.
Even Gandalf's like, what the hell? What kind of world do I live in?
Can't
We
believe I
could sort
died
of
for
relate.
that.
We could sort of relate to the people lusting over Galadriel.
we can't, but we can't relate to Frodo because he actually got her popped her cherry.
No comment.
I can relate to the pregnant bees.
Oh yeah, me too.
Interesting. Eomer is standing on his saddle. Standing on his saddle? Shouldn't he be standing in his saddle?
Standing on his. Oh,
He's physically
okay.
standing on it, like
No,
he's standing, like
He's a
on his,
daredevil, okay?
like
Emir's
he's
a
standing on top
daredevil.
of his horse.
Valerian was saying something, sorry. What were you saying?
Is he standing on top of his horse, basically?
Yes.
Essentially, yeah.
This ACDC Shoot the Frill is playing while he's doing it.
Yeah, you want to get a better view of the giant snake you can see for 100 miles.
Watching the snake move through the orc encampments and his own troops respond to it with dismay. He drops down into his saddle, his face flushed and reckless. That's not an adjective. To put a physical adjective, you idiot.
Don't you hate it when your face is reckless?
Well, don't forget that the fortifications are angry, and I think like winds or something were angry too at one point, or maybe
Yeah,
hills were angry.
He uses a lot for personification in a lot of objects, like the happy swords and like the angry fortification.
This is that's
This is
because this is
strange.
the pinnacle of art.
This is a
Yeah.
strange moment in the story.
It's always a strange moment in the story.
He
I'll
calls
say,
to
when
his
was it not?
men.
Okay. Balerin.
Wait, whose turn is it now?
I think it's Eomer. You said you were Eomer, so.
Am I Aramir?
Yeah, I guess so.
Before we drown in a sea of orcs, let the riders of Rohan slay this monster snake and avenge the death of our king.
Okay. His men rally as he rides into the orcs. His ferocity opens up a path, and the riders break through the orc lines. At least they're using cavalry properly.
Yeah, at least.
Oh, man.
Glorious moment in the story.
The orcs pile up in front of the riders and press in on all sides. The riders hack and swashbuckle away through their progress.
They're just
That's
pirates.
not the correct... Let me
That's
look.
such a, like a... It's such a
I don't know.
childish...
Like, that's not the correct use of swashbuckle. That is the wrong definition. That is not the definition of swashbuckle, you idiot.
Just Jack Sparrow is there. Where's the Lembas gone?
Engage in daring and romantic adventures with bravado or flamboyance. That is the wrong.
What did he do with swashbuckle again?
Engage in daring and romantic adventures with bravado.
I know. What did he do? How did he use it again?
He said they were hacking and swashbuckling their way through the orcs.
Yeah.
There's a lot of flamboyancy involved in them.
That is an objectively wrong use of the word swashbuckle.
Do what you want because a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
His vocabulary is bigger than his actual
competence.
Competence, yes. It's still funny that Pallenberg thought that the flying creatures of the book were too ridiculous, but a bloody zombie, a horse, and giant snake were perfectly fine.
Well, probably because you could do a zombie giant snake with the very, very limited technology at the time.
Yeah.
Giant pregnant zombie bee snakes.
What is Space even talking about with penetration here? Do we want to go there?
The Dawn of Sauron.
I don't think we want to go there.
Probably not.
You probably can't resist the temptation to highlight it, but apart from that, we don't want to go there.
Yeah, the ring was really a lot bigger.
Some of the riders are forced to dismount and they use their horses to kick at the enemy. Do you realize how dangerous that is in and out of universe? One of these actors is going to get hit by a random horse kick and it's going to get seriously hurt or killed.
Yeah.
Oh, for Pete's sake. But they are close to the snake as it twists ever nearer. It seems Aemir will never break through. The orcs have brought the riders to a standstill. Suddenly, the snake disintegrates. It breaks into sections, each part living and moving. The enormous head collapses, and out of it breaks a great white banner with a tree embossed.
Damn,
What?
Looks like Sauron took too many Viagra pills.
What? So basically, this is what he has instead of the ships of Umbar that Aragorn and whatnot bring in. Is that what's happening here?
I think this is supposed to be.
This is a real low point. Yeah, this one hurts.
Oh, that was new.
What is in Mike? What did you put in this coffee?
What did you put in this coffee? I didn't see that. That didn't happen. That couldn't have. Oh, jaw dropping. Oh my god. I don't know what to say.
There's also what?
Damn, did you guys like it when the pregnant bees disintegrated?
What? What?
Oh, well then. We covered
The snake is made of warriors, their shields painted and held over their heads, forming the stripes and shape of a snake.
Hold on. So, wait, what? How does that shit work?
Why would they go through so much effort for something that...
If it was entirely made of warriors, what the fuck was moving them?
I guess they would have to like completely obey like whoever was in front of them, and just
If
follow their
it's a
lead.
snake, then
but,
there have to be
like,
people on top. You carrying like doesn't like.
yeah, that's why go through all that effort
You'd be
for
carrying
very
other fully
minimal.
armed warriors on top of you while you're moving forward.
Yeah,
I don't know
why
why.
go through so much effort for something that has a very small like a yield to actually be like somewhat productive in the battlefield. Like, what's the point? Especially to disintegrate so quickly. Like, what the hell are they thinking?
I have a
Also,
horrible
like,
thought.
oh, go for it.
That human caterpillar thing? Is that what it was?
No, it can't be that.
Was it human centipede?
Human
Oh
centipede.
God!
Oh, human centipede, yeah.
But still, they mentioned before this
Well,
thing's
that's
so
an-
big you
that
can see
would-
it on the horizon, though. It can't be
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Plus, it can.
Like,
it can
It looks
attack
like a
itself.
giant snake.
I mean, if it said it was very long, then I guess that would make a little bit more sense. But it said it was very large, implying that there's like a lot of width towards it and height.
A lot of girth to it, you could say.
Where's
I
the
want to
logic?
avoid those.
No.
I want to.
Where's
I come to avoid those kind of words for a good reason.
Where's the logic in this?
Is also nowhere to be found in this film.
What was?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the thing you did earlier about stop putting logic in a movie. That was that one you did earlier.
Yeah.
Random incoherent bleed happens. Carry on.
Things explode and people empty their wallets to see it, but in this case, people emptied their wallet not to see it. Quite literally. A American scarcely believes Eva's eyes. Despair becomes elation. The orcs are forced to turn from the riders as they are attacked from behind.
Wait, hold the fuck on. Wait, the orcs didn't know that the giant snake was not on their side? What the fuck?
Apparently not.
Oh, just
They
like
didn't-
giant creature comes up. Oh yeah, it's definitely gonna be on our side, totally, guys.
Yeah, nobody asked their like superior officer.
Just don't ask questions.
Sir,
Just consume
There's
animal.
an enormous snake here. And the officers didn't think. Maybe I should ask headquarters. Hey,
Man,
Sauron?
whoever came up with that snake idea deserves a story of their own. Like, my word, they seem to have confused everyone.
Don't ask questions. Just accept giant animal and get ready for next giant animal. What the
Yeah, the
fuck?
Jurassic World films be like
Oh god.
Digimoldic.
Oh, I can't wait for John Boorman Jurassic Park
Oh,
or
God.
World, whatever.
Gosh.
No.
Search parties are... Oh, sorry.
Wait, Amar didn't
Yeah,
get his
it's
line out.
Yeah.
No hope was our last hope.
Search parties are ransacking the tower. Sam M awakes under shields to see orc feet trampling all around him. They turn over the shields and throw them to one side.
Yeah, there's
Sam takes the
Tarantino part.
ring again and prepares to put it on. A shield is dislodged and Sam is revealed, pointing the ring at the orc standing above him. The orc convulses and lashes out his arms, accidentally hitting a companion in the face. What is this BS slapstick nonsense?
So Sam is instigating the orc fight with his
apparently-
ring power.
Apparently, the orcs have Bethesda ragdoll physics.
Okay, apparently. A fight starts, vicious and noisy. Others join in or try to separate the protagonist. Weird use of that word. Not as
Yes.
bad as Sloshbuckle, but weird. Sam takes advantage of the distraction. He crawls away between the legs of a fighting orc. He makes for the ramp and, keeping in the shadows, creeps up it. All around and below, he can see orcs surging, violently tearing at sacks, smashing open anything that might conceal a hobbit. Further down the spiraling ramp, Sam notices a lot of activity in the archway. Important-looking orcs come and go with sentry guards.
Important-looking orcs.
Sorry.
As opposed to unimportant-looking orcs.
Yeah.
Maybe
So
they
they're all
are.
dressed up in uniform, I guess. They're all dressed up in uniform with lots of stars on their jackets and stuff.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
have
They
that.
just have giant sawed-off feathers all over them, since they are reptile birds.
If they're wearing
Oh.
Supreme jackets.
I forgot about the reptile birds.
They're wearing like Howard Hamlin suits.
Yeah. From the shadows, he looks around, not knowing how to get to it without being seen. He glances distastefully at the ring and shakes his head. Just then, the two orcs come hurrying up the ramp, carrying armor for a great troll orc.
Back to troll orcs again.
How come orcs come back? What the fuck?
As they pass him, jumps under the armor and runs along concealed beneath it. What is this, Scooby-Doo?
Sammy, dammy, damn. Where are...
What?
I need something to rhyme with Sammy, dammy, damn. I need something to rhyme with damn.
As he goes up, Sam sees a figure cloaked and hooded who is walking urgently down the ramp towards the important arch. Two orcs follow him, one carrying the helmet which belonged to the slain Nazgul. In Sam's eyes, the figure is unmistakably Gandalf.
What?
Okay. Are you kidding me?
This has got to be Saruman.
The important arch. The important arch. I just have to stop to notice the important arch again. Is important the new... Oh, yeah, because there's another important comes up. Important is the new... what was that word? Unflattened?
I guess so.
Flattened grass, yeah.
Flattened grass.
Sam, who's playing Sam?
Gandalf. I guess I'll
the figure stands. The figure stands in front of the important arch. The guard is unlocking the door. Elated, Sam walks out from beneath the shield and up to the figure. Sam's face falls when he catches a glimpse of his face. He realizes he is standing in the midst of orcs, and he falls to the ground. One of the orcs carrying the armor suddenly sees Sam in front of him. He blinks in disbelief. He looks again, and Sam is gone. Sam is on the floor at the feet of the white cloaked figure. He has no resort but to scuttle under the cloak.
What?
Oh my god, no.
This is
it gets better. It gets better.
The door is flung open and the figure enters.
Oh shit. We went to the cock and ball torture chamber, boys.
Okay.
Oh.
In torture chamber. The figure walks into the chamber. It is windowless and rigged with torture devices. Sam crawls up from beneath the trailing cloak and squeezes himself into a corner. He sees Frodo lying on a ass nude.
Oh god!
Oh
no!
Galadriel wants to know your location.
Are we in S&M territory now?
Okay, what? Okay, we're about to get weird. An orc is fitting over his head the Nazgul's helmet. There are rusty clamps on it, and he slowly and with difficulty screws these down until they bite into Frodo's cheeks and forehead, holding his eyes wide open. What is this, Clockwork Orange?
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Clockwork Sauron.
Clockwork Sauron. Did Stanley Kubrick have any kind of input on this?
By J.R.R. Kubrick.
Oh no.
Okay. Frodo moans and arches his back from the pain. Sam is horrified. He dares not disturb.
Oh god, no.
The figure is given Frodo's clothes by the other orc. He searches through them, but obviously does not find what he is looking for. Without a word, he leaves Frodo's clothes under his arm.
It's a jolly good thing that Dead Chef's not here, or this would get disgusting.
I used to think the script was a tragedy. I now realize it's a comedy.
An orc remains behind to guard Frodo. He bends over to examine Frodo's face. Using all his strength, he gives the clamps an extra turn.
Are we getting a torture scene? Cool.
I guess so.
And we're finally getting Aragorn and Legolas and Gimli in a moment.
The back of an great orc obstructs the view. An axe blade cleaves the orc asunder. I think that is a misspelling of the word asunder, but we'll just go with it. The two have splay open.
That's a typo, yeah.
Yeah, there's only one S in asunder.
You come from a land ass under.
No comment.
Yeah. Well, it is John Boorman. He has that word in his head a lot, so it didn't make sense why he would accidentally have some kind of Freudian slips whenever a word contains an AS in it.
Oh man, this is freaking cartoony. The two halves splay open, revealing Gimli. An orc throws himself through the two halves of the cloven.
Are you joking? That's
Wait. There's two halves of an orc that are actually Gimli and Legolas. Is that what just happened?
No. Okay. So I'm going to turn on my camera for a second just to explain what I think is going on here. So, we have an orc. We have Gimli. Gimli cuts the orc in half. Another orc jumps through the two halves of the orc, and then Legolas shoots him. That is what I imagine is going on.
Okay.
Also, yeah. Speaking of which,
Okay, so why would he do that?
Okay, hello.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hello there.
Yeah, okay, so I have missed a whole bunch of stuff.
you've only missed 4 pages.
You missed the Dong of Sauron
Wait. So,
and pregnant bees.
okay, so the last time I remember is the treadmill. Battle of the Treadmill. And the citizens fighting orcs.
So,
well, we got more citizens fighting orcs, alright.
well, we had Aragorn. We had the arrival of the reinforcements. Guess how they arrived?
Which reinforcements?
The Army of the Dead / Armies of Polar.
Like, I barely remember the Rohirrim stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, so I like a recap of like some of the craziness.
Well, the Rohirrim came in and dismounted their horses and used.
You showed a paragraph on that. Like, what?
Yeah, it was stupid. Then apparently Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli. For a while, it looked like a giant snake was coming towards Minas Tirith.
What?
And then it turned out that it was just Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli and their reinforcements with a shield wall that was designed to look like a snake.
What?
Yeah, a fascinating return to some familiar faces. You haven't seen them in like dozens of pages, and this is a reintroduction.
And what they did with Eowyn, like
Eowyn said a cringe line. She said something along like "Our only hope is our last hope" or something. And that's all.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to find the script again on the Discord. Where is that?
Shall I post it? I'll just post it in the Witherings and pin it.
Yeah.
You wanna? Does someone want to take over?
I've returned. What's happening?
So doing like this. Yeah.
So I can.
Okay, I will just begin reading. Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli cut a path through the enemy. In front of them, Éomer appears, forcing his horse amongst and over the orcs as if riding through wild eddies of water. Éomer jumps from his horse, hands outstretched to embrace Aragorn, who is followed by a strange army. They are a bizarre collection, dwarves wielding axes, tree elf bowmen dressed in leaves and feathers.
What?
So I'm just imagining the aliens from Avatar.
Does it say leaves of feathers or leaves and feathers?
Leaves and feathers.
Okay, I was gonna say, but still weird. But hey.
Tall, lean rangers with two-handed swords. What? Okay, that's weird for rangers to carry. And Mosarial, the risen dead, dressed in bleached white clothing, their faces blanch, their hair silver. Beyond fear, they pitch themselves at the orcs, smiling radiantly.
What? Okay, the dead are smiling radiantly.
That's freaking creepy.
And
that's actually really creepy.
let me just.
Aragorn bends his knee before
Larian was
Faramir, who. Oh, sorry.
I just want to remind us that the dead were never. They were mentioned once previously, but they were never set up.
Yeah, they're just here now.
Yeah.
They fly now. They fly now.
All right, continue, Ninja.
Okay. Aragorn bends his knee before Éomer, who wears the crown of Rohan. Okay, so Theoden died. How did Theoden die?
He was speared through the chest via joust by the Nazgul, and he tried to fight him after trying to fight him off with a dagger because he'd thrown his sword at an orc.
It was an act
Wait,
of God.
what?
He threw his sword. He threw his sword twisted at orc. He threw it, but it like twirled through the air. Then it hit the orc and killed it.
Okay, let me get this straight. So before he fights the Nazgul, he threw his sword at an orc. He got rid of his his pistol, essentially. And
rifle.
Well, no, the rifle would be his lance.
That's true.
Yeah, and then he pulled out his rifle to charge at Adam. Or did he draw the dagger first?
Drew the dagger and charged.
Let me also note that the sword twirls through the air on its way to the orc, and then it hits it and kills it instantly.
Okay.
And then
then
what happens is, while he has a lance through his chest, he somehow lands on his feet on the ground after being knocked out of his horse. Somehow pulls the lance free of the Nazgul's hand and uses the lance to hit the horse's back legs and cause it to trip. Then fall, throwing the rider to the ground.
Okay. So how did the Nazgul get defeated?
Pretty similar-ish. I didn't really know that.
Okay, so they didn't screw that up.
No, they didn't.
Not memorably, anyway.
Yeah.
So Italian Mary stabbed him in the back.
Let's go.
Italian Mary, who is still tasting a Gladriel.
No comment.
Apparently, she tastes real good.
Oh my.
Okay. So
Aragorn bends his knee.
Yep, Aragorn bends his knee before Éomer, who bears the crown of Rohan.
You come none too soon, my friend. Much loss and sorrow has befallen us.
Let us avenge our sorrow before we speak of it. To Minas Tirith.
Aragorn rises up. Éomer turns his rider, and two groups march together towards the breach. From the walls, the children and elders cheerwildly. Oh yeah, by the way, I did notice a bit about women fighting alongside the men against orcs.
Yeah, that was something.
Some of them are pregnant nursing.
Yes,
Wait, what?
Pregnant bees.
Yeah, it's described. Yeah, they take the time to explicitly mention that some are pregnant and some are nursing.
You missed the 4 races of people: beekeepers, farmers, blacksmiths, and women.
Yeah, blacksmith.
Oh my goodness! What? Okay, so Boorman was very progressive.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So battle weary but radiant, Aragorn enters the circle where lies the dying and dead. Éomer, Legolas, and Gimli follow him. Gandalf strides forward to welcome him. Disbelief and elation show on their faces at the sight of Gandalf. Oh yeah, by the way, this is the first time they've seen Gandalf.
Oh my.
Should I reprise my role as
Because
Gandalf?
because they all their scenes from the Two Towers, 95% of it has just been cut.
Including the
like
setup
70.
of the dead.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
70%. Yeah, it kind of the weirdest thing. They had a montage of Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli calling their respective armies together, and it had the dead, but yeah, there's no like story about the paths of the dead or whatever.
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
Anyhow, Flint, go on.
Okay. We meet again, Aragorn, beneath the banner of your ancestors.
Beyond all hope, you have returned to us in our hour of need.
What? Okay, so what accent is Aragorn?
Scottish Aragorn, bottom text.
Is that meant to be Apu?
Yes, Indian. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Since we all know that Gondorians are.
Thank you. Come again.
Yeah. They embrace each other, overwhelmed with emotion. Pippin comes up to them, still attired as a jester.
He's still dressed up as Sauron, basically.
Oh no, Sauron! Smack!
It is Clown World after all.
Let's keep going.
His eyes swollen with tears. By the way, why didn't the Gondorians open the gates with the treadmill?
No idea.
Hello, friends of the Fellowship. Oh, Gandalf, remember he fell into the bottomless pit and that great light came up? Well, all those fireworks he kept in under his cloak, no comment, ellipsis. They exploded. When we met him again, we were all frizzled. He was all frizzled.
Yeah, he was Miss Frizzle.
I have some special fireworks under my cloak.
No comment.
Miss Frizzle, I think we're going the wrong way.
Everyone, Pippin, did you forget the part where you were trying to do a comic retelling of your adventures while trying to take my sword away?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I kind of forgot that.
When Miss Frizzle says that we're going to go on a road trip to quote-unquote Wall Street in 2001.
Let's keep going. I have only 20 minutes.
Okay, so everyone laughs, but Gandalf is slightly taken aback. Pippin takes Aragorn's hand and pulls him towards Merry. Legolas and Gimli take in the sight of the city of Minas Tirith. They seem a bit disappointed. Some good stonework here, there, but also some less than good.
No trees, no gardens, no birds.
Someone else goes up to smack both of them, causing an international incident.
Me win, no birds.
Yeah.
And Aragorn stands before Merry. He draws the two halves of his swords and thrusts them into the ground. With loving concern, he kneels beside Merry and takes them in his arms.
The black shadow is upon him.
Merry, wake up, you stupid idiot.
Merry is still as death. Aragorn embraces Merry tightly and kisses him on his brow. But he holds him for a long moment. But
at least it wasn't on the mouth this time.
Wake up, I say. It is Aragorn.
Wake up, you little delinquent.
Sisters! Pippin cries out joyfully. Faint, delirious words comes from Denethor. Wait. Wake up, I say. It is Aragorn. What? John Boorman said to take out all the religious reference, all the Christian references, yet he has one of the most obvious ones.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, to be fair, he might not be up on his New Testament, to be fair.
It's like Lazarus. Just switch the names to Aragorn as Jesus and Mary as Lazarus.
I mean, there's more than one case where Jesus says to him,
but it's the most explicit because Lazarus was dead for 3 days.
Yeah.
Like
the hands of the.
Oh, sorry.
The hands of a healer are the hands of a king.
At which Gandalf, who stands above him, breaks into song in a deep voice. Oh no!
God help us, no!
Oh no! I'm with death! Oh no! No more singing! No more singing!
from the ashes a fire shall be. I don't know what fucking tempo is supposed to be able to read it out. From the ashes a fire shall be awoken. A light from the shadows shall spring.
Mary stirs again, his eyelids open. It seems he looks up at Aragorn.
I'm hungry for some meatballs. Aragorn, ow.
Aragorn?
I forgot.
Okay. It is time for this. There is no time for traveler's tales.
I think this is Bangkok.
Only time for Lembas.
No.
Aragorn rises while Pippin helps Merry on his feet. The others are amazed and awed. Aragorn looks down at Denethor.
The Lord Denethor? He hasn't been himself lately.
I know it says Ben, but like the scratched out N looks like an R. He hasn't beer himself.
He just needs some
Aragorn
beer.
kneels by him and takes them in his arms. There are others watching tense silence. Far off, the battle rages.
Lord Denethor, Boromir is my blood brother.
Blood.
Ellipses, blood ellipses.
How is that, Denethor? How is that possible? Well, Aragorn goes to embrace him. Denethor has a dagger in his hand, unseen by all. He points his dagger at his own heart. Aragorn embraces him, and in doing so, his chest pushes the dagger into Denethor's breast. Aragorn rises and quickly pulls out the blade, but it's too late.
How convenient.
Gandalf takes Denethor in his arm.
His despair was too strong, even for the power that now rises in you, Aragorn.
No!
That is so stupid. That is like so contrived. Okay, so Aragorn sees the lifeless body of Eowyn. Is like Eowyn naked?
Yes.
Or
That's we knew.
oh, what? How is that? Why? Why is he naked?
It's
Mary
Boorman's
took her
law.
clothes
Everyone's
off.
naked until spoken otherwise.
Mary took off all her clothes.
Wait, why did he take off all of her clothes?
What?
I need to make some spaghetti.
Wouldn't you?
No! Not in a battle!
Okay. Yeah, keep going.
But she's hot.
Okay. He takes her in his arm. Gandalf rises trance-like and rips the banner of Elendil from its mast. Aragorn summons all his strength and grasps Eowyn's body tightly to his. The onlookers are deadly silent. Eowyn does not stir. Aragorn spreads out her arms and covers her with his body. He presses his palm on her palms, his legs on her legs. After a moment, she moans. Her body writhes, wrapped around Aragorn's.
Oh my!
Seems like Aragorn brought his own giant snake.
When he feels her stir, he rises, lifting her with him,
Yeah, I
and
bet he's
folding
rising.
her in his arms, pressing her mouth and body to his.
Okay, we need
Gandalf folds the banner as if performing a ritual. Aragorn releases her mouth, and she sucks in a breath, gasping. He looks into her face, enraptured by her pale beauty. Aragorn whispers to her in a low voice.
Okay, we need to pause. We need to pause to savor all that, and the flinky chap needs to do that music.
Yeah. What was their chemistry between either of these two characters? This is a problem with Boorman. He writes terrible characters.
When he
Yeah, this is just like the first time.
Boorman! Hey, Boorman! Remember all those minutes back at the beginning where you spent half of your script in the Fellowship of the Ring? Like 80 pages of Fellowship of the Ring, and most of those pages were just random stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, you could have set this up. You could, have a scene with Aragorn with Eowyn. Like, it wouldn't be that hard.
It's subtle.
Yeah, this is the first time Aragorn and Eowyn have really been in the same scene together in this script.
People just don't appreciate subtlety, that's all.
When he feels her stir, he rises. Yeah, I bet he is.
Yeah, she's moaning and stuff, so yeah.
I think this tops the whole Arwen thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, this is... this even Galadriel looks subtle compared to this.
Oh, yeah!
He makes Galadriel subtle.
Like, what?
So basically, in Tolkien, Aragorn brings her to life by putting his hands on her, I think, and then he has Eomer call his name. In this one, he brings her back to life by basically boinking her.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Okay, Aragorn, say your lines.
My breath I give to you, Lady Eowyn. My life I give you. By the ache of exile I draw out your ache. By the long nights I have laid alone, I call you back to me.
Please show Bob
She
and vagina.
stirs, her eyes flutter open for a second, but she fades again. Aragorn grasps her and kisses her with passion and intensity. Gandalf dips the banner, tightly folded, into the blood of Denethor. The blood soaks in the white cloth.
This is my hobby. Do not judge me.
Eowyn floats out of her deep coma and look into Aragorn's sad, loving eyes. Her face flushes with color. As the grayness fades, she smiles. They look into each other's eyes with love.
Let me interrupt for one brief moment to remind everybody that blood is a turn-on in this story, at least for orcs.
You telling me Gandalf is causing all this?
Okay, Gandalf unfurls the banner in a sweeping gesture. On the white flag is a beautiful mandala in blood, radiating from the center of the white tree, it is as though the bare white tree had burst into blossom. The Gandalf holds it above Aragorn and Eowyn as a canopy. The two embrace as the great banner billows about them. Gandalf calls out in exultation.
The hands of the healer are the hands of the king. The king has returned to Gondor.
I just have to note that note from the chat. They begin undulating under the giant snake as the pregnant bees look on in horror.
Undulating!
Yeah, you need to highlight that thing if you don't mind. Right, chat. What, you're not going to highlight that?
Donna is busy. So undulating. That's. And so wild cheers break out from the walls. The children and the elders burst into a chant. Which, by the way, you have to put in the word undulating now into the chant.
Aragorn, undulating king. Aragorn, undulating queen. That's Satan. This porn scene is so hot. Yeah.
I bet the porn version of Lord of the Rings makes more sense than this.
Children.
Above the chant, Gandalf can be heard continuing his song in a deep voice.
Of course.
What? Then he continues his song. This is a frightening moment in the story.
Mhm.
And he's basically, wouldn't it be right if Gandalf were singing were, "Oh my"?
Mhm.
Let's keep going.
Right, scroll.
Well, I need to scroll down for it to keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Stop.
Okay. Yep.
From
Go.
the ashes, a fire shall be woken. A light from the shadows shall spring. Ellipses.
Pippin's excited voice is heard.
The sword! Look! Look!
Renewed shall be blade that was broken. The crownless again shall be king.
The two broken ends of Aragorn's sword are glowing with incandescence. The makeshift handle of one half is burning to ash, while the ground in which the other half is plunged is scorched and smoldering. All eyes turn about it. Aragorn kneels by the sword. Eowyn, still weak but radiant, I wonder why, stands leaning against Merry. Aragorn lifts Aragorn lifts the two halves of the sword above his head, bringing the two incandescent parts together, and immediately they fuse. By the power of plot armor, I have the power! He rises, holding the immense sword by its handle with his two hands, swinging it through the air. The wild cheering and jubilation undulating augments. In a undulating chorale rises up undulatingly.
Renewed shall be the sword that was broken. The crownless again shall be king. Undulatingly.
Aragorn, king. Eowyn, queen.
McQueen.
Oh no.
Aragorn swings the mighty sword above his head in a great triumphal arcs. Then he turns as if struck by horror and despair. Oh! Oops!
Where's Frodo? What the Frodo?
Yeah, after banging when he's like, oh yeah, where the fuck is Frodo? Meanwhile, in the cock and
He's got
bull chamber.
He's got the post-coital blues, that's what it is.
Okay, so Sam has climbed up on a stretching rack that is fixed to one wall. He leaps down from it, Sting held out in front of him like a gull diving for a herring.
That is an odd image.
Yeah, that's an odd image of birds attacking each other. No, a bird eating a fish. The guard is turned facing Frodo, and Sting drives down into his bath. Oh, so Sam is becoming an assassin. Is joining the Assassin's Guild to fight the Templars.
He's just turned into Italian from Shadow of Mordor.
That's true.
A lot of those like Islamic assassins actually were assassinating other members of Islam. Less to do with the Templars, actually.
I was making
it Mordor.
I think Sam's a ninja, clearly.
Ninja, rap, ninja,
rap. Go, Sammy, go, Sammy, go, Sammy, go, Sammy, go, go. Sam lands with the sword between his legs and his feet on the guard's shoulder. The orcs turn his head and looks up to him with an expression of surprise, and then sinks down dead.
No.
Actually, kind of rhymed.
No.
What is that?
No, Boorman, no. Cut it out.
That is the ninja rap from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, sung by the world's greatest rapper, Vanilla Ice.
Yeah. Yes. It's beautiful and it's cringe. Sam pulls out the blade and goes to Frodo, who is still in a swoon.
Oh, God, no.
He examines the helmet with distaste and begins to unscrew the clamps. Oh my goodness! Which are on point of perforating the skin. Oh my goodness! The helmet comes loose and he throws it to one side. Man, this is a lot edgier than Berserk.
You made
Also,
this earlier,
weirdly
and
enough,
he's
they were
completely made
torturing
Berserk.
him with the helmet of the Witch King.
Wouldn't it be a riot if Dana turned up from not Real Time? Oh god,
Legend of the
Seeker.
You're the only person who hates Denna on this stream. Most other people don't know who Denna even is.
Yeah, I know. But still.
Frodo stirs. Sam strokes his forehead and calls to him.
Master Frodo, it's me.
Sam. Frodo's eyes are still wide open. There is a distant, strained look about him. His skin is taut and translucent. Oh my goodness, you get to see the muscles? He fixes Sam with a cold scrutiny that makes Sam shudder.
Master, please. It's Sam. You remember? Sam Gamgee. The Shire. Mr. Bilbo. Merry. Drippin. Gandalf. Galadriel. I know you remember that last one.
Oh no! Don't use the word penetrate right after saying Galadriel. Please don't, Boorman. Please, no. What the please, blazes, no!
I knew you'd remember that one, Mr. Frodo.
And he struggles to recognize them. His eyes are open but glazed, unseeing.
The ring. For the master. For Sauron. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
I wanted to do somebody at least.
Sam.
Don't let them make you one of them, Mr. Frodo.
Make one of who? And as Sam's tears begins to flow, he bends down and takes Frodo's in his arms. Then, more than words or devices, brings Frodo to himself again.
No. ...
He blinks. At first, he is cold and limp, but gradually begins to cry. And finally, he clutches hold of Sam, and their tears mingle.
At first, he is cold and limp. At first, he's cold and limp, then he thinks of Galadriel.
Yeah.
Is it you, Galadriel? I mean, Sam. Is it really you? Not another trick.
No, Master. It's your Sam.
It's your Galadriel. I mean, Sam. I mean, Galadriel. I mean, Sam.
I've been on a terrible journey. They've broken something inside me, Sam Adriel. That'll never be mended.
Sam Adriel.
Frodo falls limp again in Sam's arms and swoons away. Sam strokes his brow and pulls out his water bottle.
No, please don't.
He puts it to Frodo's lips.
Yes.
He comes and drinks a little, then falls asleep. This time, more peacefully, lying in Sam's arms. Sam looks nervously at the door and managed to get hold of Sting in his free hand.
Yeah, like the polymer plastic with like a mountain logo on the water bottle.
The forces of Menetiris have retreated inside the city, and once more is laid under siege.
What is this? Time number 3?
Our heroes, everyone! They couldn't defeat an army, even though they literally had 2 reinforcements armies!
One of which is zombies.
One of which is zombies.
You literally have White Walkers on your side, and they fail!
I just noticed in the chat, this is probably from... Is this from back when we were doing Eowyn? It says... No, not that one. The bees won't be the only ones pregnant soon. It says. That now.
Yeah.
Man, this is like the most incompetent military.
This is about to get worse. Keep going. Just keep reading.
Oh, okay. The gates are closed, and the breach in the outer wall has been rebuilt somehow. The battering ram has been incorporated and phases outward finally. The orcs are dragging up engines of wars. rams, huge catapults, scaling ladders. Catapult shoots orcs over the wall. It's like that Indian movie.
The one that Dodgers used.
Yes, where they use the trees.
Where they use human catapults.
I want to see that. That looks so ridiculous and it's awesome.
It gets better. It gets better.
Bat-like wings breaking their fall.
This isn't new on me.
Another catapult uses the head of dead men and orcs as ammunition, terrorizing the populace. Oh, Peter drinks the round off. Oh, okay.
At least that's something that was actually in the film.
That's just from the book. They're just.
Oh, okay.
It was from the book. My bad.
Okay. It's been a while since I read the actual book, which I'm planning to do soon.
Okay, but the bat-like wings.
Why now?
The bat-like wings. I mean, we know the reptile birds, but the reptile bird things with bat-like wings now.
Or maybe they maybe they're a new variety, or maybe they have.
Are we talking about orcs, troll orcs, orcs?
I don't know, but like apparently, like in the next one, they arrive on kite wings. So maybe it's like
no, it's
like
Kite Man.
Kites? Maybe it's kites. I guess. I don't know.
The Harley Quinn show did Kite Man dirty.
Well, I will say this: Boorman is imaginative. He has an imagination.
Yeah, and the surviving riders patrol the walls, galloping up and down, destroying orcs that manage to scale the outer walls or arrive on kite wings. What?
Let's go fly a kite.
On the outer walls, the archers are pouring arrows into waves upon waves of orcs that sweep up to the walls. Okay, I'm having a hard time visualizing the battle. So where are the horsemen? Are they on top of the walls? Are they behind the walls? Are they outside the wall?
I'm too busy visualizing.
Or in your
horsemen are all dead.
Yeah, and also, where's
Blaine
the
was talking. Shut up. Lauren, you're saying?
Yes, thank you.
Sorry.
What I was trying to say was that I'm too busy visualizing the orcs on actual kites, not kites like the bird, but you know, and like somebody holding a string, and it's like, and they're like holding the kite over the wall, and the orcs like jump off these kites.
So wait, they already have wings, but they need kites too.
I was thinking paragliders.
I was thinking the kites like ninjas were rumored to be using.
Let's keep going. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm having a hard time figuring out where everyone is at this point in the script. The soldiers of Minas Tirith are firmer and steadier now, fighting with greater discipline and tenacity. Dominating the outer wall is the regal figure of Aragorn, now resplendent
Resplendent.
Okay, that's a new word. In the red and silver cloak of the king. On his head is the golden crown of Gondor. In his hand, the sword reforged. He stands alone, engaged in combat with a horde of orcs that have scaled on a section of the wall.
It is literal He-Man now.
Yeah, and also, hey guys, you think you should have a bodyguard with your king?
Yeah.
Like, at least have Legolas and Gimli there?
Maybe Legolas and Gimli can be on kites too.
He is the storm that is approaching.
And also, where are the dwarves and elves?
Where are the dead people?
Yeah, the literal army. Further along the wall, Gandalf surveys the Pelennor fields as the never-ending orc hordes march down from the gates of Mordor. At his side are Merry and Pippin. They are watching Aragorn with open admiration.
Who would have thought that our nice old ranger would turn out to be a king?
The Dark Lord himself would tremble if he could see him now. Let's simp on him.
Gandalf looks down sharply on Merry and Pippin, which I'm assuming he's still in his jester outfit, and then he follows their gaze to the mighty Aragorn.
If Sauron could see mighty Aragorn, he would surely believe he bore the ring of power, ellipses. Now he addresses the hobbits. A trick to gain time for Frodo, if time is what he needs. To win by arms is far beyond our power, ellipses. Solid, whatever the fuck that says. Ellipses. Ellipses. Power! Sauron weighs all things to a nicety in the scales of his malice, but the only measure he knows is desire. Desire for power.
No comment.
We shall be the bait. Let folly be our cloak, ellipses.
Supported by Sam, Frodo is getting dressed in the clothes which belong to the dead orc who lies naked on the floor.
No!
Frodo is pale and shaky. Why did we need that detail?
Also, it's weird. It's also weird because it's described earlier in the script that the orcs have armor growing out of their bodies.
Yeah, how does... You rip his skin off? Oh my. Are you feeling more yourself now, Master?
Oh god.
Well, I'm not feeling like somebody else anymore.
Out of habit, his hand drifts to his chest. He feels for the ring. It is gone. A deep, agonizing moan escapes him.
What?
Oh, come on.
He's thinking of Galadriel again.
Yeah, he was frantically jerking off. They just didn't mention it.
That's the third time he's used the word moan whenever it's referencing Frodo. Does he have like... I thought he had a fairly expansive lexicon, but I guess not. He just constantly reverts back to moan.
Alright, so Frodo, go!
Sorry about that.
It could be Frodo. They've taken everything, Sam. Everything.
Ellipsis.
Not everything, Master Frodo. I, ellipsis. I picked that particular thing and kept it safe. It's round my neck now, and a terrible burden it is.
Frodo looks unable to believe his ear.
You've got it. You've got it. Ellipsis here.
Valerian can do it.
He's got two voices, Frodo.
He's going crazy. Sam nods and fumbles with his tunic, pulling out the ring. Frodo's eyes lights up with joy, but when he sees the ring, his expression changes to one of lust and avarice. By the way, remember at the beginning of the film where even seeing the rings makes you not want to take it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the script is extremely poorly written.
Also, I know someone has to mention the word lust in this connection here.
Yeah, I was gonna say in reference to Frodo.
You scroll down too far. Can you scroll up a little bit? Thank you.
Yeah.
Give it to me, you thief! It's mine.
He snatches the ring and clamps it against his chest.
Galadriel, oh my god, Galadriel.
I think of you every time I'm using this ring.
No comment.
Because every time we touch, I get... Anyway. Alright, Master, but be careful. It's got very powerful in here, and heavy to bear.
For a moment, they face each other belligerently. Then Frodo recovers and embraces Sam.
Oh, Sam, what have I said? Forgive me.
I understand. That's all right, Master. We have to get out of here, and I think that little fellow is our only hope. You'll always be my little pug champ.
That little fellow? What little fellow? What to know?
No comment.
Yeah, he points sheepishly at the ring, which is back on Frodo's neck. Sam looks up at Sam and nods agreement.
Sam looks up at Sam.
Nods agreement. We're missing two words. The gates are open. So the treadmill squad are running atop. And from them comes a magnificent spectacle. Aragorn, king of Gondor strives forwards, his sword held high.
Whoa!
His head bearing the crown, his armor
Whoa.
shimmer. By his side is his queen, Eowyn, her golden hair flowing, her silver armor flowing the contours of her body and breasts. Come on, Boorman!
For some reason, we've just got rampant degeneracy. I don't really know what's going on here.
We didn't need this detail!
I see Aragorn got her some... Aragorn got her some video game fantasy armor.
Breast, I imagine her breasts are a part of her body. I don't think we needed that extra detail. Could just let that.
Wouldn't it be right if they weren't?
No! No! Does not compute! Does not compute! It does not compute! I take that! You bastards! I'll kill you! I'll kill all of you! All of you will die! You'll get the gas! Rape my childhood, will you? You'll all die! You will all die!
What?
I forgot!
I haven't seen that one before. I haven't seen that one before.
Could have just left it at following the contours of her body, and that would have been it. Like we got the.
Or just her wearing armor. Because we're just gonna assume, based on Boorman's previous writing, that it's gonna be like sexy fantasy armor.
That's
He has like breastplates. Oh god.
Then
maybe her upper extremities are added on. Like maybe she like.
It's like a bustier or something.
Yeah, maybe she got a boob job. You don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, the middle
going.
Okay.
Keep going.
Come Gimli, Legolas, Gandalf, Merry, and Pippin, all in fine regalia. Pippin in his fine regalia of a jester's outfit, followed by the greatest warriors of Gondor. Also, tree elves, dwarves, and the risen dead. Why aren't the risen dead not up front and center?
The greatest warriors, also tree elves, dwarves, risen dead. You know, whatever. Those losers.
Yeah, we're gonna ignore the undead army that could easily, because you know they're undead, take out half of the army ahead of them. They bear the white banner of Elendil with the blood blossom tree flaming from it. Flanking them and driving a path through the enemy is Airmere and the Riders of Rohan. Their flags fly proudly too. A small brass band brings up the rear and strikes up a brave tune, making as much noise as it can. Okay. Why is not the risen dead in front of the army, in front of the cavalry?
The risen dead are just there to like carry people's luggage and stuff.
Yeah, have they been described as doing anything? They're just kind of there.
Your risen dead is basically the servants.
Yeah, they're basically, so the janitors and stuff like that. It's important.
In the Boorman universe, they're like completely incorporeal. They can't interact with anything, so they're just kind of like observers.
They're lusting after Galadriel, but they can't do her.
Frank Frazetta. I am now curious.
I bet that's a painting. But let's just move on.
Conan. He's a Conan artist.
Okay, that makes sense. I don't mind a small brass band. That kind of makes sense. Like, they would probably have that in any military because it helps with keeping in rhythm with the army and good for signaling. Mm-hmm. Okay, fine. Anyway.
I actually found the image. It's actually not that bad.
Oh, okay.
She's basically wearing a leotard.
Okay, so... Okay.
Yeah, you can disguise yourself in that. Like, ladies' legs look very different than dudes' legs.
Yeah, it looks fine.
That looks very interesting.
It's sort of sorcery armor. So, despite the pulpy writing being more gritty than my typical fantasy, the armor design, not so much.
Yeah.
Okay, the gates close behind the chosen party. Okay, cheers ring from the battlements. In front, the orcs are building up and challenging Aragorn's advance. Eomer and his riders encircle the groups, galloping around, creating a protective ring, a mobile no man's zone. The strange and beautiful group advances through the sea of orcs, walking straight for Mordor.
More torture chamber.
Why are we in this torture chamber? Okay. Sam and Frodo stand poised behind the door of the cell. Frodo is dressed in an assortment of clothes, some from the orcs, some from Sam. He has Sting now, and Sam has the curved short sword belonging to the orc. Footsteps and the drawing of bolts are heard. Sam glances back at the stone slab on which they have arranged the dead orc, not looking much like Frodo. The door opens and two orcs enter. They tower over the hobbits. Sam and Frodo swing their swords and cracks them across the shins. The orcs double up, and as they do, the hobbit dashes out of the door. They close it and bolt it.
So basically, they're doing a gag from Galaxy Quest.
Why did we have to do that? Was unnecessary. They creeped out of the archway onto the ramp of the open well of the tower. They start to work their way down, keeping in the inside shadows, but they are quickly spotted. Orcs on the ramp on the far side get chased and running round and round. Stealth no longer being a virtue. The hobbits scramble down, hundreds of orcs on the floor of the tower looking excitedly, and some start up the ramp. The hobbits are trapped. Their pursuers close behind.
Quick, the ring.
Note that using the ring is apparently not frowned on anymore, or maybe it never was.
Yeah, it seems to have no negative consequences at all.
It's so inconsistent. At some points, the Treaty of the Ring is like, yeah, it's a get out of free card, and then no, you can't do it. And now it's like, yep, you can do it. Frodo fumbles for it and loses his footing in doing so. How? He slips off the ramp but clings onto the edge. Then loses his grip. He slides down into a stalactite. What? Which hangs from the underside of the ramp. He hugs it. The stalactite is slimy and transparent. Sam leans over the ramp, attempting to grasp Frodo. The orcs lean out from the tier of the ramp below, waiting to catch Frodo.
You're saying?
Yeah, can we pause for 1 second? How can you slide down onto a stalactite? Don't stalactites hang from the top?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is it transparent?
I guess he dropped and grabbed onto it. I don't know. The script is incoherent.
Why is it transparent? Is it ice? Like, what the fuck's happening?
What the bleep is ever happening? Oh, in the next paragraph, it turns into a stalagmite, which makes more sense.
That most likely happened. Okay. But anyway, so
Proof, read your fetching script.
Schrodinger stalactite.
Yeah, his hands clasping the stalagmite attempt to slip on the ring, but each attempt weakens the grip. Frodo slides down further. Frodo can see his hands disorienting and enlarged through the transparent stalactite.
Is it alternating? Does John Boorman legitimately not know the difference between stalagmite and stalactite?
It's not a bug, it's a feature.
The rain looks enormous.
Master, ellipses, put it on.
Lots of ellipses, by the way. Frodo attempts to slip on the ring, but he slowly slides down, his hands clawing into the slimy, smooth rock. Finally, he falls. He is caught by the orcs below. They hoist Frodo above their heads in triumph and run down the ramp to the open floor.
I legit have no idea what's going on. I am having a very hard time, getting a grasp on the locations of this scene.
The actions are
Why are we?
complex.
Why are you just instantly backing off on the success of Sam rescuing Frodo?
Pacing is awful.
Sam clutching to say Frodo loses balance and falls.
Ellipsis.
Fucking rip.
The band. Okay, so now we're at the gates of Mordor.
Oh,
By the way, at this point in the script, do you think Sam and Frodo should be, I don't know, at the cracks of Mount Doom already?
Or at least on the way there, at least out of this tower and, heading
fine,
through Mordor.
they have a
Yeah.
jetpack. They'll find a jetpack in the torch room. It's fine.
But Ninja, we need time for Aragorn and Eowyn sexy time. Come on.
No, at this point, we need to have shenanigans in Carathongal. We need to have Scooby-Doo.
But giant snakes and pregnant bees. Come on.
We need
Let's keep going. We
Band.
only have 21 more pages. Well, 20 more pages, and then we're finished.
All right. It surges in. Okay. The band surges into a climactic fanfare. A signal from Gandalf's staff brings the music to a sudden, unexpected stop. A deadly silence ensues. While they're surrounded by orcs, by the way, only the groom is heard above, tumbling and churning like soft thunder.
What does that mean? It sounds cool, but what does it mean?
Turning like soft thunder.
How can gloom be heard? How can gloom be audible?
Why
Right now,
capitalized?
just played the trailer for Thor: Love and Thunder. Okay, they're just playing the trailer.
Wait, is that it? In this universe, is it Mount Gloom instead of Mount Doom?
He went from dad bod to god bod.
Oh, that explains why there's no lava, because, it's Mount Gloom.
Yeah. The chosen group stands at an archer's pitch from the enormous gates of from the enormous gates of Mordor. So wait. They're on top of the gates? Shaped like open jaws, an endless wall winds away to the horizon in either direction. All around the chosen, orcs stand waiting, silent.
Between the ones on kites, of course.
Between the gate. Oh, okay. So between the gates and the group is an empty space. Even though they're supposed to be surrounded by orcs too. Okay, Aragorn stands a few paces in front of the others, his armor gleaming. He holds the sword's handle with his two hands at the height of his chiz, while pointing the blade rests on the ground at his feet. Also, above him ripples the great banner of the tree and blossom. Gandalf walks to Aragorn's side and breaks the silence. His voice booms towards Gates.
Bill Gates? The King of Gondor has returned. King Aragorn, heir of Elendil. Aragorn the Arrogant demands that Sauron come forth and atone for his evil. I'm sorry, Aragorn.
I guess they're very much leading into the ruse to the point of parody.
Yeah. Why arrogant? Couldn't they have a better name? Like Aragorn the Awesome?
Yeah, Aragorn standing next to him was like, yeah, thanks for that, Gandalf. Jeez.
His success with Eowyn has gone to his head. That's the problem.
No, this is Gandalf just dissing Aragorn.
Gandalf's jealous. He wanted Eowyn for himself.
Translation: Don't let me catch you slipping, Aragorn.
Oh, okay. We're gonna get some. So finally, we get Saruman. Oh, yay!
What?
I think Saruman is assuming the roles of the mouth of Sauron.
Okay,
Oh, no.
it's rains. The gates hinge open without a sound. Noiseless, two hideous black horses with flames burning in the sockets of their eyes and nostrils.
How are they going to do this with 1970s technology?
Can I just please note the chat for 1 second?
Aragorn the Love Machine.
Yeah, precisely. Yeah.
That's his theme song.
Upon which is the great emblem of the evil eye. The companions hold their weapons ready. The chariot draws closer and comes to a halt at 10 paces from Gandalf. A figure descends from the chariot. A gasp of disbelief goes up. The figure is the spitting image of Gandalf. His cloak is white, but it shimmers with threads of many colors. A cobra coiling around his staff.
We're back to snakes again.
Like him, yet.
Unlike him.
Gandalf and the figure are face to face, glaring into each other's eyes. The figure's voice is low and melodious. It sounds an enchantment.
I am the mouth of Sauron.
Saruman, don't you remember your name? Is such the power.
Don't you remembering your name?
Oh,
what
my
is
bad.
he?
My bad.
What is
don't
he?
you remembering your name?
What is he? Spook from Mistborn?
Wasn't the forgetting of your naming.
Is such the power of the Dark Lord over you that makes me misspell my sentences. We meet again, Saruman of many colors.
I think it was this point that the drugs began to take hold.
Oh no, I think it's been they took hold long ago.
Shut up, Aragorn. I can quit whenever I want.
Of many colors and many powers.
As he talks, Saruman sways his staff hypnotically. The cobra rears, ready to strike. All eyes fixed upon the snake, as it seems as though it will strike at Gandalf. But instead it strikes Saruman, sinking his fangs into his legs under the cloak. The snake falls to the ground, withering in the dust. In convulsive spasm, it dies. Saruman laughs. Gandalf points at the snake.
Saruman, I am the snake about to strike.
I am the staff that crushes the snake.
I am the fire that burns the staff to ashes.
I am the cloudburst that quenches the fire.
I am the well that traps the waters.
It's a rap battle. So basically, Gandalf and Saruman are having a epic contest.
Okay, epic rap battles of history! Gandalf the White versus Saruman of many colors! Begin!
Grab your dwarves, your stings, your dwarves, and glammed rings.
Because there's a new leader of the Lord of the Rings!
The Lord of the Ring? The Lord of the Boxing Ring?
Newsflash, the genre is called fantasy. It's meant to be unrealistic. You my hopping manatee.
You myopic manatee.
We're quoting from Epic Rap Battles of History between J.R.R. Tolkien and J.R.R. Martin. And oh my goodness, years later, all the birds on J.R.R. Martin.
Yeah.
Maybe link that in the Discord if that's online.
Yeah, it's awesome. Okay, for a second, Saruman hesitated, unable to continue the contest.
So it is a rap battle.
I am ellipsis. Just words, old fool.
But words are a part of everything, as water, seeds, and blood. Saruman, I say to you, the king has returned.
It takes more to make a king than armor and elvish, Polish, and a rabble such as this. And I want it all for myself.
The line in the book was so much. The line in the book was so much better. It takes more art to make a than a broken elvish blade. That was so much better than this.
And also it has the context of no undead army.
Trying to go with me, that's an epic fail. You're like Gimli trying to get with Galadriel. Death.
No, it's more of like you're like Feanor trying to get.
Yeah, let's keep going. Aragorn remained aloof.
I think Ninja died.
Yeah, the script finally killed him.
Okay, I'll read it.
Like Tolkien.
Okay, I'll read the next couple of pages.
All right, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
I'll read it. I can read. You've been reading for a couple pages now, so I can take a turn. Okay, Aragorn has remained aloof throughout. At Saruman's words, he pivots slightly, his great sword sending a blinding glint into Saruman's eyes. Shouldn't it be a blinding flash? Glint is very easy to avoid. Saruman squints and averts his face.
Aragorn the King wields a power underscored, which Sauron has lost and has not found.
I spit on your ring bearer.
He spits toward Aragorn. The hunchback Wormtongue jumps out of the chariot, laughing vindictively. He bears an effigy dressed in Frodo's clothes. Has Saruman been using Frodo's clothes to dress up his sex doll?
No comment. Probably, but no comment.
At this point, we have to assume.
Okay. The base is a spiked pole, oh my, which he thrusts into the ground. Double oh my.
Oh god, no. Please, no.
The chosen are aghast. They cry out, unable to conceal their anguish. Silence! Nobody moves or talks. Saruman points gloatingly at the effigy.
That little brat from the rat hole of the ellipsis.
It's the one above.
It's the one above.
You skipped
I'm sorry. I see who was dear to you. Ellipsis. Was his errand one that you hoped would not fail? Ellipsis. I mean, question mark. Whatever.
Saruman laughs. Gandalf feigns sincerity.
Frodo is dead, our little spy in the vast and terrible land of Mordor.
That little brat from the rat hole of the ellipsis. Shire ellipsis.
Okay, before we transition. Oh, wait, hold on. Finish the final part.
Saruman begins to stutter and cannot continue.
Okay, here's the joke. Who won? Who's next? You decide! Epic rap battles of history!
Yeah, and they're just like slow dancing in the background.
A teeming throng of orcs is pointed towards a central point where Frodo should be, but is not. Instead, the center is like a nest of angry serpents. The orcs smash against each other, tear, rent, and scratch. A howling holocaust of misery.
Man, dude, it was a mosh pot to the beat of the rap battle previous scene.
Damn, you gotta pay rent to be in the mosh pit.
To one side, under the ramp, stalagmites jut upwards. Orcs that have fallen from the ramp are impaled on their angry points. Sam is impaled on one of them as a result of his fall, but surprisingly, his eyes slowly open and a grin comes across his face. He looks across at the orcs. He did it. Put it on. Sorry.
Let me note. All right, let me note again that these points are angry.
All right, so fucking rip Sam. I guess he died.
Sam slides down from the stalagmite, revealing that its point has been truncated. He has been bouncing on the flat edge as though the missing point had pierced him. What?
No.
Wow, really lucky that you fell into one spike that wasn't spiked.
Also, what is this? This is cartoony. This is like asinine cartoon logic.
Yeah, it feels like it's supposed to be a laugh track after that.
Oh man, we're having as much narrative whiplash as the Peter Jackson Hobbit trilogy here.
Gandalf is once again.
I think the Hobbit trilogy actually has better tonal consistency than this.
That's true, because the Hobbit trilogy only had one sex joke. Well, this one is like the whole thing is one big sex joke.
This verbal joust between Gandalf and Saruman spawned a lot of Darkwing Duck jokes when it first leaked to the internet. Says Reed Mason in the chat.
Makes sense.
So, Sam stalks between the stalagmites and rotting bodies of the orcs. He moves into the throng. Don't you mean thong of Galadriel?
No comment.
That's Frodo, not Sam. Come on now.
Crawling through the legs of the orcs. Saruman trembles and struggles to conceal his loss of power. His jaw is slack and strangled sounds come out of his mouth as he tries to speak. He turns slowly and looks back in the direction of the tower. Gandalf and Aragorn exchange looks.
Dare we hope?
Sam fights his way into the center of the maelstrom of orcs. Feeling a terrible dread, he looks up. The light floods down from above and is evolving into the shape of the eye.
Frodo, take it off, master.
Frodo appears at Sam's side. His face is twisted in agony. His fingers claw his own flesh. Immediately, he collapses into Sam's arms. As soon as the ring is taken off, the orcs calm down and they spot the two hobbits, even though Sam is desperately trying to drag Frodo away. The orcs approach them a little wary. Sam takes the ring and swings it around on the long chain, trying to create a circle of inviolability. Odd use of that word.
I don't think it works that way.
Yeah, I don't think it works that way either. The orcs shun it, feeling pain when they get too close, but they press on, push in the back, anger rising like sharks, building up the courage to strike.
Orknado.
Apparently. Sam looks down anxiously at Frodo, who begins to stir back into life. The eye grows brighter. The orcs screaming charge. Sam slips on the ring. The orcs, close to hand, go crashing into each other and are thrown into spasms. The raging confusion begins again. Frodo is held by the invisible Sam. The violent chaos spreads to the tower. The light burns brighter. So I guess the ring, they're playing a game of hot potato with the ring.
Yeah,
and of a Samwise.
And apparently putting on the ring doesn't make Sauron goes, oh!
Well, because all the Nazgul are frickin' dead. So.
Wait,
yep,
when the blades are they going to?
So wait. Were they?
Wait, Ninja, Valerian first, then you.
When the blue bleeding blazes are they going to start heading for Mount Expletive Doom?
I'm not sure if they are anymore.
Yeah, Ninja. They all died at the fort. All but one died at the Fort of Bruinen, and then the last one died on the Pelennor.
What?
What? Really? They're all dead? Then what?
At least I think they are. They haven't own up.
What? Then why bring back? Why not just have Saruman be the one who leads the armies on the Pelennor fields?
No idea.
Like, I'm sorry, but like, what? That could have been an easy solution. Just combine Minas Tirith and Helm's Deep. Just make Saruman the.
They just cut out Helm's Deep entirely.
Well, I know that. That's why, because it's one movie. That's why you combine the both of them together and have Saruman be both the mouth of Sauron and Saruman being both mouth of Sauron, much like in this version. But he's the main commander dude. But yeah, we're gonna just.
That makes no sense.
Or else, you know what? You know what? You could have done. You could have not killed off the 8 of the riders in Fellowship of the Ring.
Yep. Saruman makes a supreme effort to recover from the spasm that has betrayed him. He attempts to speak.
Boorman needs to touch someone flattened grass.
I guess he had a stroke or something. Oh my goodness! Look, like a man suffering from a stroke. I didn't even notice that.
Oh my!
Oh my goodness! Oof,
bruh.
Saruman
makes a supreme effort to recover from the spasm that has betrayed him. He attempts to speak. Ellipsis. So, ellipsis. Run. Well, I'm really into these ellipses. Ellipsis.
Again, the words catch in his throat. His arm works convulsively and he shrinks to his knees like a man suffering from a stroke. The companions cheer. They want to urge forward, brandishing their weapons. Gandalf, however, watches Saruman acutely and signals that they should hold back. But Gimli and Legolas dart forward and snatch the effigy of Frodo from under the noses of Saruman's guards. Where were they?
What? Wait, what?
They hold it up high and run back into their ranks. Cheers greet it, and a chant starts up. Frodo lives! Frodo lives!
Okay, what?
How do you know that? Saruman has a stroke, and you just assume Frodo's alive.
I guess so. Frodo is recovered is recovered and warding off orcs with Sting. The confusion is even greater. The light from above fades, then intensifies, then fades again. Sam reappears pulling up the ring. He swings the ring around, attempting to drive off the orcs, but Frodo snatches it wildly from him. Their own struggle with the ring whips the orcs into a greater frenzy and confusion. What am I reading?
I think we're all in a greater frenzy and confusion.
Man, this finale is drugs. It's full of drugs right now.
Like,
where even are they right now?
What the fuck did I just watch?
They're just in some like unmarked like cave in Mordor. No one knows where the fuck they are.
What? Why couldn't they just put the tower in Mount Doom at this point? Why not just make the tower Barad-dûr and put Barad-dûr on Mount Doom at this point? Like, seriously.
Okay, together they make through their way through the masked orcs. Frodo slips the ring on for a moment, then Sam, then Frodo. It is literal hot potato. Sawed off.
What?
The light of the eye suddenly reappears with burning intensity. Its force seems to calm the orcs. They gradually become frozen and look up at the eye as though awaiting instructions. Frodo is struck down by the force exerted by the eye. He falls to the ground. Sam shakes with fear. They crawl painfully toward the wall and the opening in it. Frodo? Raptor, can you do it?
It's burning me. I'm melting inside.
I'm melting.
The door, not far now, master.
The light grows even stronger, bleaching everything into white translucency.
So
Frodo
basically,
Go for it.
Pardon me, but basically Frodo is the Wicked Witch of the West.
Sauron drinking bleach casually.
Frodo wraps his arms around his head. Sam holds his knees tightly against his eye sockets. His body rolled into a ball. I'm not sure I'm not sure the human body works that way. Not even if you're a contortionist.
Is he fucking Sonic? What do you mean he rolled into a ball?
Well,
blindly they stagger and roll and finally crash into the wall as they grope for the door.
What? I just had an epiphany. Pardon me, but I just had an epiphany. Hobbits are salbugs.
Apparently.
The hobbits are isopods.
Frodo's groping for the door because he thinks it's Galadriel.
The orcs are perfectly still now, looking upwards into the steering eye. Suddenly there's a great roar from the orcs. They burst into activity. Saruman rises up, recovered.
And he points with Galadriel. I can't remember what voice was I doing. What voice was I doing for him? Was I doing? Anyway, the mouth of Sauron opens.
It is a signal. The great chariot bearing Saruman splits into two parts as the horse drawing it gallop in opposite directions. This is a cartoon image.
Yeah, insert laugh track.
Okay.
Man, we have. I'm not okay. So we've been like doing. Was this a predecessor to the modern cartoons where we have like adult themes, yet we have childish antics?
Oh gosh. The canopy behind Saruman with the insignia of the eye tears apart, revealing a company of horsemen that are masked and blinded against the light. What?
Masked and blind against the light. Okay.
What is this, Dracula Untold?
Oh,
if you can't see it, you can't be afraid of it? Is that the asinine logic we're going with here?
Don't worry, we have a new enemy subvariant, Uruk warriors.
Uruk warriors are mounted on the horses bearing barbed lances. Behind them come a band of giant men, blind. Also blind, bearing spiked clubs. These creatures wear harness and are driven by orcs with whips. They swing their clubs in giant arcs. They lumber forward. Hundreds of orcs vomit out of the jaws of Mordor in their wake.
So they just have tall dudes and there's riding on
with whips.
The orcs are basically are whipping these tall guys, and the tall guys are just letting them do it.
Sam and Frodo crawl and stumble through the door. The orcs gather weapons and rush towards it. Frodo and Sam find themselves on the ragged rocks outside the tower. Mount Doom looms above them.
Fucking finally.
Wow, the geography of Mordor is about the size of American Fork or something.
Basically, Mordor is like this tiny village. It's like Mordor is basically San Marino.
Yeah, Mordor's the size of Rhode Island or something.
The gloom rising out of its cone. So basically, a river of orcs gushes out the door in the wake of Sam and Frodo. They hurtle down toward the gates of Mordor. A few orcs break away from the main contingent, fanning across the land and the slopes of Mount Doom. Frodo and Sam scamper down the ragged rocks, dodging the orcs' patrols. The hobbits crouch into the rocks for shelter. They have escaped the tower. Now the open mountain lies before them. The battle is joined. The Chosen make up a long line and take the full impact of the forces issuing from Mordor. Aragorn's power is awesome. He holds one flank around, rotating the sword that was forged around his head, cutting swaths through the enemy. That's not how swordsmanship works!
And that's... What is this? All of a sudden it becomes Dynasty Warriors?
Apparently.
Yeah. To be fair, the word awesome actually meant awesome back then.
Yeah. Gandalf is on the other flank, employing a mixture of conventional swordsmanship with his elf sword and wizard trick.
Wizard tricks.
Stabs of lightning.
I'll try spinning. That's a good trick.
Lightning fly off his oscillating staff. I don't hear that word oscillating very often. It's very rare that anybody uses it. So props to you, Boorman.
Yeah, it's not all that rare, but yeah.
Yeah. At his mysterious behest, some of the giant men turn their clubs against their orc masters.
I'm also
Why is
seeing
that mysterious?
I'm also seeing him pulling pregnant bees out of his hat as a wizard trick.
Yeah. At the center are the others: Legolas, Gimli, Merry, Pippin, Eowyn, supported by the Chosen. The two bear. What is this? Why are they called the Chosen rather than the Fellowship?
I don't.
Chosen one.
And also, why are the Army of the Dead in the center? Why not put him near Aragorn or have him be up front?
The two bears hold high the effigy of Frodo.
Why are they protecting it? Just ditch it!
They fight bravely and fiercely, but are pushed back by overwhelming odds. They retreat in an orderly way, leaving many of their comrades killed or wounded, but they take a heavy toll of the orcs. Sam and Frodo clamber wearily up the ever steeper slopes, their hands and legs lacerated by the jagged rocks. The ground is loose and shifting, and they keep losing their footholds and slipping down, forced to grab the sharp points of rock that grow like prickles on the back of the mountain. Frodo has thrown off most of the orc clothes. He is naked above the waist, and the ring swings free. Sam still carries the fire pan and other implements, but he stops and looses his belt.
Oh no!
Throws his back to the ground.
We didn't say much. That we didn't see anything gross when Frodo was naked above the waist with the ring swing. No one said anything gross.
Yeah, what can you do?
We shan't be doing much cooking. Might as well travel light.
He grabs his water bottle, however, and offers it to Frodo, who has a glazed, distracted look. Frodo drinks, having to turn it upside down to find water.
Is this the last, Sam?
Sam nods. Frodo hands it back. Sam rummages in his pocket. He pulls out a broken lampus.
Here, master, look what I found in my pocket. Eat!
It's Galadriel.
No, he's carrying Galadriel in his pocket the whole time.
Yeah.
You know what?
Pocket Galadriel.
I'm not sure if this is a blessing in disguise or not, but that they don't have the vial of Galadriel with them. Because if they had that, you can imagine the fun we'd have with it.
Yeah, they have the vial of gamer elf half-water.
They never mentioned it.
Yeah, which is a pity.
They never mentioned the gifts.
Yeah. Frodo shakes his head, refusing it. He looks back. Below is the tower. Above it, Frodo sees the eye appear. It searches the land, seeking Provi, and turns his gaze toward him. Why are there no orcs that are just clambering, falling down on them? This is so dumb.
And why don't they just look over and see, oh, there's a huge battle. We need to hurry.
He twists his head away, keeping his eyes down.
I have no hunger, Sam. Nothing is left of me. No taste of food. No memory of tree or flower. No sound of wind. And unfortunately, I've lost my cuscaudal bliss with Galadriel several days ago.
How the fuck do you forget what wind sounds like?
Sam looks down at him in deep concern, for Frodo is transformed. He has grown thin and gaunt, hardly a hobbit anymore.
That's how I felt, Master, with the ring on.
On or off makes little difference now. On or off.
Have you tried turning it on or off?
Frodo drifts into a kind of reverie. A thin smile crosses his face.
He remembered Galadriel after all.
Actually, no.
I think I know how Galadriel felt. Poor Galadriel.
We should go on now, Mr.
Yes.
Frodo.
Frodo scans the landscape, still shading his eyes from the side of the tower. Sam follows his gaze down to the gates of Mordor. So, they finally notice. They see the forces of Mordor flowing out of the gates like a river, brown and gray in color. The orcs move forward inexorably from all sides, pressing against a smaller force which stands out as a patch of vivid color.
Wait, is it not a volcano? Or?
Far beyond the city of Miz Tirith is under siege. Flame and smoke current from above. Why did they leave it then?
Also, Reed Mason says he thinks Elrond gave them some of the gifts earlier.
I don't think so, actually. I don't know if they got any gifts. They just kind of left.
Yeah, well, they kind of did.
They left, but then after they left, they had that weird thing where Elrond was doing voiceovers.
Yeah.
Yep, and then they had that flashback to Bilbo.
Frodo, you're up.
Yep. Too late. We come too late.
Sam takes Frodo gently by the shoulders and turns him away. He coaxes him up toward the summit.
Keep going, Mr. Frodo. Keep trying.
Gandalf and Aragorn fight to keep up an open line of retreat. Open a line of retreat, but the sheer weight of numbers beats them. Two bears keep the effigy of Frodo raised up, and Legolas and Gimli defend it. A determined batch of orcs attack them. Gimli's axe swings, cruel and crude. Okay.
I'm sure
Legolas is a nimble and graceful swordsman.
No.
He wields a slender blade, but it works devastatingly.
No.
The dwarf and elf work beautifully as a team. Gimli doing the heavy work of destruction. Legolas dancing from side to side, quick to see and avert fresh dangers, protecting his friends. But they are forced to retreat. One of the bears of the effigy is struck down with a lance, and Frodo's likeness topples forward. The orcs go wild, slashing and cutting at it. The head is half severed, and a sword is driven through the heart. It crashes to the ground. Frodo collapses. He falls to the ground and slithers down the hill, loose rocks tumbling over him. Sam goes back and crouches beside him.
Nearly there, Master. A few more paces.
Frodo, half-conscious, tries to crawl up the steep slope, but slips back further when he climbs. Sam pulls him and is deeply exhausted himself. Sam looks down the slope. Groups of orcs are climbing the mountainside. They search and probe as they go.
The orcs, Master. They're looking for us.
Sam looks up about him feverishly. He speaks again coaxingly, shading his eyes from the tower. What?
What?
Oh no. Oh,
What? What?
What am I? Did Galadriel turn up? Did they do another Galadriel sex scene?
But even I couldn't have come up with something like this.
What was it? What was it?
Read the line. Read the line.
Where?
At the
Top of the top.
I know you're there. Come out, Gollum, old friend.
Sam looks around nervously but can see nothing. But a sound is heard which might be Gollum hissing. Sam looks back at the sad sight of his master lying helpless on the loose rock. Let me bear it away for you, Mr. Frodo. A white light comes into Frodo's eyes. Sorry,
That's fine.
Stand away.
So
It's mine.
So I guess it wasn't real. We just thought it was. I guess it's a hallucination, but it's still kind of like Gollum is like, I don't know how they're going to do the ending. I kind of want to see what BS they pull out of their asses.
I did some reading ahead.
Okay.
It's going to be lame.
The angry moment passes and Frodo manages a smile of apology.
You can't help me in that way again, Sam. Oh, God, no, please. Can we stop with the innuendo already? If you try to take it, I should go mad.
Well, if I can't carry it, I can carry you, master.
Well, after that, Sam collects Frodo's limp form in his arms and starts up the mountain again. Sam looks back towards the gates of Mordor. Look there, master. Oh, sorry. Go for it.
Look there, master. They're not beaten yet, and nor are we.
Sam sees the Chosen are now completely surrounded and trapped inside the huge orc army. They are obviously doomed. Or they have formed a ring, and this thin circle of bright color holds yet against the enemy.
Yeah, they formed a
Galadriel.
The ring of the Chosen gradually shrinks. They fight on as wave upon wave of orcs surround them, including the dead people!
Apparently. We forgot about the dead. We'll remember them again in a moment. We forgot.
Yeah, the dead. We already died. Yeah. We're being chilling.
Gandalf and Aragorn's fights are side by side now. Defeat shows in their eyes. Eowyn fights next to Aragorn.
Against all reason, my bones believe that Frodo somehow, would.
He is cut off by the need to fight a fresh assault and is soon swept out of Aragorn's earshot. Merry and Pippin are fighting side by side, flanked by Gimli and Legolas.
I think we're losing.
I suppose that means poor Frodo and Sam have perished.
I don't think adventures are nearly as good as people make them out to be.
I'd like to have seen the Shire again just once, Ellipsis.
Fighting shoots them apart and they can just yell out to each other from time to time.
Ellipses lie on the riverbank. Ellipses.
Ellipsis, smoke a pipe, Ellipsis.
Ellipses, fresh bread, ellipses.
Oh, Ellipses. Fried mushrooms. Ellipsis.
Ellipses, feather bed, ellipses.
Feather
yeah, I
beds
remember I had a lot to do with that one.
Feather
Who knew
beds
the punctuation could be so funny? Sorry. I said, who knew the punctuation could be so funny?
And they disappear in the fierce melee.
And die.
Yeah. Frodo is on his feet, but Sam is still half carrying him. The way is gray and ashen. The sulphurous vapors rise from the pitted rock over which they travel. Ahead, up a steep incline, is the crater of the volcano. A heat haze rises from the cone and becomes the gloom. They move painfully slowly. Behind them, the orcs' slopes are crawling with orcs. They are still some way off. Frodo slumps to the ground again as though dragged down by the weight of the ring. He begins to crawl. The long chain around his neck reaches the ground. The ring is dragged across the rock. A strange thing happens. The rocks begin to
yes.
They watch the ring with fear and fascination. It rumbles as it drags across the rocks. Sam
a strange
looks
thing
up.
happens is pardon me, but a strange thing happens is basically sums up the whole script.
Nearly there, master.
Frodo follows his eye. The crater is just ahead. They can hear the roar of the deep flames. Sam looks back. The orc patrols are closer. He turns to Frodo and clasps his arm.
What do you have to do, Mr. Frodo? Actually, don't answer that. I know it's Galadriel.
I love it how we're just, no matter what, we're just mentioning Galadriel every 10 seconds now.
Yeah.
Just thrust it into the fire of Galadriel that made me a man. That's all.
Unaccountably, Frodo begins to sob. They are both crawling away now at the very end of their tether. Sam is struck from a solid blow that throws him down. He looks up and Gollum is upon him. All right, we were right.
Yeah.
All right. We were premature, kind of, but now it's sure. He has Deus Ex Machina Gollum back.
Somehow, so he
somehow Gollum returned.
Somehow, okay. So this is how absurd it is. So somehow, after kicking himself into the dead marshes, by the way, which is bad thing to do. So he got that out, like crawled away all through like the hole that was made by the tree on the gates of walls of Mordor. Ignore all the orcs. Somehow the orcs didn't notice a Gollum at all.
Gangly creature.
Yeah. And as they were swarming the gates of Mordor, nor any orc thinks he was another orc and drafted him into the army. Whatever. All the way there. But just conveniently, not fast enough to catch up with Sam and Frodo's shenanigans in the tower.
Apparently.
Reeve Marison points out, they did get the cloaks and lembas. He's right there. We know they got the lembas.
Oh, the cloaks and lembas. That I was.
Oh, the cloaks. You mean the ones? You mean the fire material?
Yeah. And the lembas that taste like no comment.
Mm-hmm. Sam gets in a kick and pushes him over. They struggle.
Wicked bastards! Listen to it, precious Gollum!
Frodo watches the struggle. Gollum has become as thin as they are from his endless suffering quest.
What?
I was expecting you, Galadriel. I mean Gollum. I thought you'd be in at the end.
Gollum?
I thought I'd be in Galadriel at the end.
Gollum breaks free of Sam and hobbles over to Frodo. He clutches weakly at Frodo, but Frodo is weaker still and cannot evade him. He's going to rape him.
Oh no!
I'm going to rape you.
Gollum pulls Frodo to the ground and grabs to the ring.
Gives it to us! It's ours! Thief! Please, master!
The threat of the ring brings a sudden charge of power to Frodo. He protects it with one hand and pushes Gollum away with the other.
Don't touch it. You, Ellipsis, you Gollum. I am Frodo, Lord of the Ring.
Oh, God.
Gollum backs away, terror in his eyes, but behind the terror burns in the eternal longing, the insatiable lust for the ring around Frodo.
No comment.
Frodo starts to move forward again. Gollum clutches at his legs, holding him back.
Please, master, the precious ghost will die too.
Sam, mustering his strength, staggers to Frodo and Gollum. He tries to break Gollum's grip on Frodo's legs. He strains with all his might. Gollum hangs on, whimpering. At last his grip breaks.
Go on, master. I'll hold him here.
Frodo drags himself on towards the precipitous edge of the crater. Gollum struggles with Sam, but they're both so exhausted their moves are slow, languorous almost.
No.
That's all of John Boorman's awful action. I don't care if there are Excalibur fans. Excalibur's action is dog awful.
This is us right now. We're going through this journey together.
Yeah, our movements are slow.
As the ring gets closer to the brink, the rumblings of the earth increase. Sam hangs on desperately. They are bathed in the red glow of the fires.
Quick, master, do it! I can't hold him much longer. You're the chosen one.
A deeper tremor aches them all. The eye appears turning from the battle. It grows larger and fixes on the crater. Frodo cries out in agony, but he inches on toward the edge. Another tremor, stronger still. Frodo gets to his feet. He stands on the edge. He slowly takes the chain from his neck. He holds it quite still for a moment. The flames leak up to greet the ring, and Frodo is silhouetted against them. The ring hangs from his hand, the tiny band spinning on the end of the slender chain. Frodo turns to Sam.
Plot twist. Mount Doom is actually Galadriel, and that's what all these tremors are about. Oh no! Oh no! 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 Oh God! No! Not the next line. Oh God! No!
Stay the line, Bart.
Oh God! I have come.
Hey.
I not choose to do what I came to do. The ring is mine.
Sets the ring on his finger and disappears. Sam cries out and is hurled back by the impact of a great rending of the earth. The eye grows to a blinding intensity.
You're supposed to destroy the ring, not join it.
Yeah, by the way, there's... Yeah, the other versions are better. We're more
even
impactful.
even the Rankin Bass version is better than this.
Yeah, like I will defend the Rankin Bass films. Like, I know I'm in the minority on that, but yeah,
I like them. I just don't think they're very good. I like it better than Bakshi. I actually legitimately hate the Bakshi.
Yeah, but even okay, but like those were more powerful moments. Of course, the Peter Jackson one was better. It's my goodness, this had no impact.
Nope, none whatsoever. They've been putting on the ring constantly,
and then Gollum just subtly showing up, and then just conveniently they were full of energy, and then conveniently they're running out of energy.
Somehow,
it is admittedly slightly worse in the Rankin Bass version because just Gollum shows up apropos of nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's keep going. As the earth shakes and Mount Doom rumbles, the forces of Mordor cease fighting. They turn to look up at the mountain. Gandalf, Aragorn, and the Chosen are fighting a bitter last stand, are stunned by this sudden pause. They too look up at the mountain. Hope lights on Gandalf's face. The orcs in the battlefield and those patrolling Mordor suddenly burst into action. They race frantically up the mountainside. Screaming and moaning, they run towards the crater.
Oh, God.
Many throw their weapons to gain speed. Some of the men of Minas Tirith, grasped by an insatiable urge, rush off racing the orcs.
Wait, what?
You want to race my orc?
Boorman!
That's not how it works.
You're supposed to make everything be worse! This is supposed to be like... Oh crap moment! This is like, all hope is literally lost! The Eagles has not shown up yet!
Yeah.
Insatiable urge to must be Eowyn. Maybe Eowyn took off her clothes again.
No, I think that they're running in the opposite direction, so I think they all want to gang rape Sam and like Frodo and Sam, like the Sodomites in Sodom and Gomorrah, or the Benjamites in Judges.
Yeah, that ring ain't going on his finger.
Romantic.
Yeah, the Book of Judges is gross.
Oh yeah, Book of Judges, if ever made into a TV shows, would be make Game of Thrones look like Dora the Explorer.
Yeah, especially the point where they rape the Levite's wife until she dies,
and then they cut her into, and then her boyfriend cut her into multiple bits to be shown across the nation of Israel.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Bible's freaking weird.
Well, you're dealing with ancient peoples.
Well, especially the Old Testament.
No morals.
Yeah, the Old Testament is like kind of bizarre in places. Yeah.
Yeah. He runs up the slope to the edge of the crater. He gropes his way this way and that, seizes the invisible Frodo. Sam crawls desperately over to the erupting ground to try and help. Gollum fights his unseen foe with a mad fury on the edge of the abyss. To and fro he sways, sometimes teetering on the brink, then drawing back. Gollum draws up his clasped hands to his mouth. His fangs gleam as he bites down on something. Frodo gives a cry and reappears, falling to his knees at the chasm's edge. Gollum dances, dancing crazily, holds the ring off the ring, a finger still thrust within its circle.
Ew.
Well, yeah.
My precious, oh, my precious.
Gollum looks adoringly at the ring. He steps back too far and finds himself teetering on the brink. He wavers for a moment, and then with a shriek plunges into the abyss. Out of the depths comes this diminishing cry.
Precious, precious,
precious.
Gollum plunges into the molten lava. There's a great roar. Flames leap out from inside the crater, high into the sky. They burn into the great pall of gloom. Sam stumbles forward and drags Frodo away from the edge. Blood trickles from his bitten-off finger. Frodo is suddenly calm and aloof. He holds up the finger which isn't. That sentence makes no sense. Sam drags him away. Yeah,
it's time to touch some unflattened grass, Mr. Frodo.
I had a clip for this.
That makes absolutely no sense!
Alright.
Yeah. The lands of Mordor quake and rend apart. The great tower of Sauron crumbles at its foundations and falls into ruins. Fire from the volcano reaches high into the gloom. The flames spread across the sky. The gloom burns out and disappears. The sun shines through. It is a beautiful summer's afternoon. The earthquake subsides. All is calm. On both sides, weapons are thrown down. All thought of war is gone. All heart for fighting lost. The orcs, rather like snakes, shed their scaled skins of armor, revealing themselves to have disgusting slug-white skin, but rather human. The risen dead stretch with relief in the sun and fade from sight. They were there the whole time and they were losing? Sod off.
Yeah!
Are you high?
The risen dead were just the butlers and maids!
Essentially.
Name a group more useless than the Risen Dead in this fucking script.
Yep. In fact, in Middle Earth, the Risen Dead later became a buzzword for uselessness. Like, for example, a wife complaining about her husband not helping with the chores would say, "You're more useless than the Risen Dead."
Okay. Frodo and Sam come stumbling, falling, loping down the mountainside toward the men and orcs below. Cheers and shouts and tears of joy mingled with a great fanfare of triumphant music. Sam holds up Frodo's four-fingered hand, acknowledging the cheers. A path opens up the ragged ranks of men and orcs, through which comes Aragorn, crowned and glorious.
Can we just pause and just point out that the orcs literally surrendered and it's like
and now they look like people. Yeah, they turned into people.
Can we just acknowledge that this is happening?
Oh, this is stupid.
You're even surprised anymore.
Okay, in his train are the chosen with Merry and Pippin carrying the mutilated effigy of Frodo. It is mutilated at this point. Why didn't you add that word? It would have been funnier. Come on.
Yeah. Have you thought to drop the fucking effigy and go get the real Frodo in front of you?
Yeah.
No, we gotta worship Frodo as a god now.
The wild cheers transform into a rhythmic hosanna with chants and counter chants. Hail Frodo, Lord of the Ring.
Hail Frodo, Lord of Nine Fingers.
As Aragorn comes through the crowd toward Frodo, he is acknowledged too. Hail Aragorn, King of Men and Orcs repented.
You're not supposed to read the lines. I was supposed to just narrate.
Oh my god, they prayed the orc away. Okay.
I guess being an orc is like a meth addiction or pornography addiction. You can just quit.
Yeah.
Apparently the idea of being this is the fourth age. This is actually the solution. This is all takes place in the fourth age, like the real Lord of the Rings happened. Right now we're in the fourth age after Dark Shadows, and everyone's just cosplaying as Lord of the Rings right now. The orcs are just teenagers who are, because normal Minas Tirith, there was so much peace.
Yep. Okay, Merry and Pippin breaks away. That's not grammatically correct. You should have corrected that. Breaks away from the others and run to greet Sam and Frodo. The hobbits hug each other and shed their tears. I feel so much emotion for these characters that I barely fetching know.
That, yeah.
And have barely been apart.
Yeah, despite having a lot of screen time with some of them, I feel no connection with them, and it will be.
You mean you don't sympathize with Frodo's undying lust for Galadriel?
That's not in this scene.
It is now.
You've heard of dying light.
That
Now
works.
prepare yourself for
Okay.
dying lust.
Frodo is slightly detached, but allows him to hoist him onto their shoulders. This is the signal for a fresh rate of cheers. They start down toward Aragorn and the others. The weight of Frodo increases their pace, and finally they are running almost in a free fall.
Hail Frodo, Lord of the Rings!
That works great. They stagger down until suddenly Frodo finds he has fallen into Gandalf's arms.
Oh no.
No comment.
Oh no.
Gandalf is beaming and crying at the same time.
Oh no.
Gonna eat him.
Did it. You hobbit. Ellipses, I forgot to mention that.
Oh, that was Gandalf's character arc. Instead of referring to them as halflings, he's now calling them by Hobbit.
Frodo forces a smile, still not able to respond fully.
I thought you were dead, ellipsis. But then I thought I was dead, ellipsis, many times because I died. Because I died in Galadriel's arms a lot, ellipsis.
Galadriel's arms a lot.
Can I take up a reading?
Yeah, go for it.
Gandalf, holding Frodo aloft, starts down the slope. The others follow. Aragorn takes Frodo and embraces him, then lifts him onto his shoulders. As they go down toward the gates of Mordor, Frodo's passed from hand to hand. Gimli, Legolas, Eowyn. Who is this chick? Era. Who is this dude? All take their turn.
All take their turn. I don't like that phraseology here. I don't like that phrasing here.
Tears are back.
It's so funny. I just imagine Frodo, he is so uninterested because of all of his experiences. Who is this chick? Who is this dude? Oh hey Gimli. The orc trumpeters and the hornblowers of Rohan join in the triumph circus-like music. The exultant men and orcs follows on, cavorting wildly.
Circus music.
basically frolicking about. Cavorting could also refer to sex, though, but no comment.
Well, it's the Pride Parade.
Oh, no.
God help us.
Frodo walks hand in hand with Aragorn, who is radiant with light and majesty. Merry Pippin again bear the effigy of Frodo. As they walk, they pulled out the blades and arrows that have pierced it. Frodo glanced at it over his shoulder, reminded of his own hurts. Merry and Pippin takes Frodo's clothes off of the effigy and pass them to Sam, who gives them a hasty dusting before helping Frodo into him. Frodo walks on, allowing Sam to dress him. The naked effigy is now passed over the heads of the crowd. A sea of hands stretched to touch it, to tear a fragment from it. It passes rapidly across the crowd, disintegrating until nothing is left. Accompanying this, a chant begins.
Frodo lives. Okay, so basically, Frodo had not been wearing any clothes, but they put clothes on him and they took them off the effigy. Now the effigy is naked, but then the crowd goes wild and tears the effigy to bits because, they worship it.
Frodo is now God to them.
Oh my.
I have become Frodo, destroyer of rings.
Yeah, they walk through the gates of Mordor. The cheers and triumphant music continues. Gimli looks disparagingly at the terrible, grimacing jaws of stone of which the gates are made. With a masterstroke, he strikes one corner of the mouth, transforming half of the face into a smile.
Okay, so is anyone besides me seeing a huge emoji smile face on the gates now?
Laughing, crying emoji.
Now, the gates are like Greek mask of comedy tragedy.
So
Many
you weren't off with. So you weren't off with the emoji analogy.
No.
Many stop to admire and discuss Gimli's work, but he slings his axe across his shoulder and walks off, leaving them to it. The crowd argues about the enigmatic Stoneface forgetting Frodo.
So basically, they're too busy with art criticism and art critiques to talk to remember Frodo anymore.
What?
What?
Boorman, why was this in your script?
This is
Because
ridiculous.
Because it's Boorman.
Oh, jaw dropping. Oh my god. I don't know what to say.
That's a nice speech, though.
You know,
Oh my goodness,
this is
it
nice
keeps
and all,
going,
but we're the
keeps
pregnant
going.
bees.
Oh man, you think that Return of the Kings had many endings? Well, guess what?
Okay, we only have 3 more pages. We can get through this.
Yeah, Frodo, Sam, and Gandalf walk through the crowd with Gimli and Legolas following. By the way, this is at Minas Tirith. Celebrations continue. The various military bands are now stationary, while the treadmill squad is still running on the treadmills. But still playing, and around them, groups of men and women dance and sing. Stalls have been set up and people are trading. Okay? Legless veterans beg by the wayside.
One of these is not like the others.
Wow. That's progressive, I guess. I guess he doesn't have
Yeah, I guess the
military
only limbs people lost were legs, I guess.
Yeah.
Whoa! Like, take away from your triumphs.
What about Aragorn's hands being the hands of the hero, or did he use that up on Eowyn already?
I don't know. Aragorn sits on an improvised throne on a raised platform. Eowyn is at his side. They are surrounded and pressed upon by citizens with petitions and complaints. Scrolls are thrust forward as people clamor for hearing. Aragorn reads parchment using a glass as he seems a little long-sighted. Pippin the Jester and Mary acting as page and waiting to Eowyn yawn with boredom.
With boredom.
Boredom.
Yeah,
Young with Boorman.
But wait. So basically, people are trying to bring their lawsuits to Aragorn. So what's happening? People bringing their lawsuits to him. That's after the war. Well, we just triumphed over evil, so we need to bring our lawsuits. I have a case against Joe here, who keeps having his bees keep invading my territory.
Are you tired of
I recently got into a fight with Doug over there. His horse keeps coming over and breaking into my house and crapping all over the floor. It's disgusting. My house stinks of horse.
And then the horse points its rear end with a shield on it at me.
Are you tired of boring old emotions? Try Phallicin and try new emotions such as boredom.
Keep going, Mr. Ninja.
I'm sorry. This is so ridiculous. And writing. This is stuff nobody wants.
Oh, wow. Maybe I can read it. I'll do it.
Yeah.
Merry and Pippin see them and wave, shrugging their shoulders to indicate their okay. Frodo, Sam, and Gandalf pass the scene, trying to catch the eyes of their former comrades, but Aragorn is much too involved. However, Merry and Pippin see them away, shrugging their shoulders to indicate they are hopelessly caught inside the crowd of litigators. So you weren't wrong.
Litigators. No, it was litigators. What?
Doug is swindling me out of a month. Doug is swindling me out of a day's pay. Please make him give it to me. You were a lazy bum, and your mother. I only did it because I slept with gave you a job because your mother slept with me.
Oh, I have an even worse thought. What if this were reality? What if this were trash TV, and we're like Jerry Springer or something.
Yeah.
And
why did John Boorman add to this? Like, why did he add the whole art thing? Like, is this supposed to be social commentary? All of a sudden, we reached social commentary hour.
I guess so.
I guess, sort of.
Frodo, Sam, and Gandalf, with Gimli and Legolas behind, cross the Pelennor fields. The crowd thinning as they move on unnoticed. The battlefield is scattered with the debris of war, but already a horse and plow is at work, making furrows in the scorched and barren soil. A flock of crows follow the blade, cawing and swooping. It is Shadowfax who pulls the plow.
So
Wow!
Shadowfax has been turned into a draft animal?
Apparently, yes.
Man, that's an insult to Shadowfax. What is Boorman and his hatred towards animals?
If the real Shadowfax would have anyone tried to put him to a plow, he would have kicked that you know.
He would have killed him.
They wouldn't even catch him. They wouldn't even get 10 feet from him.
Even in Minas Tirith, he was behaving like he was like, I am too good for this crap. Why are you feeding me like an actual horse? Horse, I am the king of horses, you dumbasses.
Boorman is dyslexic. This is Shadowfax's brother, Fadoshax.
Yeah.
Don't you mean Virgin Fax?
Same thing.
Yeah. As they trudge on.
Get your plebeian hands off me, is like Shadowfax's basic attitude.
Yeah, as they trudge on, they pass a desultory group of men and orcs gathering around an old man in a cloak. He is squatting on the ground playing the sleight of hand games of the cups and the pea.
What?
He has 3 helmets instead of cups, and he uses a marble. Or is it an eyeball? Okay. The man glances up with an apologetic smile. It is Saruman. Gandalf shakes his head, despairing of Saruman. So essentially, Saruman is now doing sleight of hand crap.
He's a good guy now. He's just vibing.
This is such horrible character assassination. This is possibly the worst character assassination in the script.
Again, I tell the audience, Rings of Power have to beat this in order to be the worst and very bad.
Zardoz will have failed attempt at social commentary. Yeah, like, the gun is good, the penis is evil. Actual line from the movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so no comment. That's very interesting, though. Interesting love life he must have if he thinks that way.
Well, this is gonna get weird. The little party walks on. They pass the withered tree under which Boromir was buried. The tree has burst into red blossom. They look at it distractedly and pass on. Legolas and Gimli follow, pausing for a moment to shed a tear over the grave. When they look up at the blossom, they smile happily. They have come to the road that leads down to the Shire.
Also, smile happily is very redundant. Like, we can already assume that they're happy.
Pretty much. And the road to the Shire, isn't the Shire a bit of a ways away from Gondor?
It should be.
Yeah, treat it as a montage.
Did they just give up and just like stop editing their script for grammar stuff? Or there's so many typos in this.
Yeah, at this point they just like, we're done. We're done with the movie.
Yeah, they abandoned it.
To be fair, it's kind of hard to correct typos on a typewriter, but still.
I don't know. Did they have typewriter? Didn't they? They should have had computers in the 70s, right?
Yeah, but I don't.
That would probably be like too bulky and expensive.
They were bulky. I mean, we had computer paper, and I guess it did have some text on it, but for the most, we didn't have word processing. I didn't know about word processing anyway. I don't think until the 80s.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, remember, this was like 1970.
It looks far too. Okay, I need to check this. For people typing using computers in the 70s?
I mean, there was some text on the computer paper, but not an awful lot. It was mostly numbers.
Okay, so by the late 1970s. Okay, so by the late 1970s, all computers used VDT and electric keyboards.
Okay, so most likely this is a typewriter.
Okay, so manual typewriters gave way to electrics in the early 1960s.
Oh, okay, so electric typewriters. Okay.
We still have manuals. I mean, manuals still existed though in the 70s. We still had them.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to look through it. I can't really find a definitive answer. Like, it looks way too polished to be a like a typewriter script. At least it doesn't look like I think that, well, here's the thing. The errors are relatively minimal.
It doesn't have lots of X's because with the real type, when we did a typewriter, either we went back and put X's over the error, or else we used Tipex to cover it up.
This could be what could possibly happen was that they had this is a copy of the original.
That is also possible, yeah. But it okay, let me scroll up to the top. The main reason why I say this is it says 12/14/70.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
It could be that at that time people are just so used to typewriters they just know how to do it.
Possibly. Okay, so Frodo.
Oh, sorry. Ellipsis. I can't, dear Sam. I have been pierced by blade, sting and tooth. Ellipsis.
Dildo.
I can't ellipsis anymore.
I can't bleep anymore. I think is the correct term.
I can't ellipsis Galadriel anymore.
Frodo, Sam covers his ears. He will not listen. He turns to hide his face, distraught. Gandalf ruffles Sam's hair affectionately, as if he's a kid. Sam walks away down the road by the waterfall toward the valley of his beloved Shire. From below him, a crowd of hobbits with banners of welcome come up to greet him. Sam's buxom girlfriend runs forward and embraces him.
Thank you, John Boorman, for reducing Rosie to this.
Frodo averts his face sadly from the scene. He walks slowly on, humming "The Road Goes Ever On and On." Gandalf fumbles in the pockets of his soiled, and produces a crumpled firework. He lights it and throws it into the air above the hobbits. It sputters and fails to light. Gandalf shrugs ruefully and walks on. Wow.
I walk a lonely
How
road.
anticlimactic.
Yeah. They're all strung, yeah.
They are... Oh, this is going to be weird.
Oh no. I see the word undulating.
They are strung out now. First Frodo, then Gandalf, and Gimli and Legolas. Sand Dunes Day. Standing on the dunes is the slender figure of Arwen, her dress and hair undulating.
Undulating!
Oh no. Oh no.
What dunes are they?
It's
It's
Frank Herbert, how you doing?
He sees Frodo and beckons him on, and then turns and is hidden again by the dunes. Where is the context of this?
Why are they in the sand dunes? Where aren't the sand dunes?
Where are we even at? This is incoherent.
I think we went straight from getting back to the Shire to the Grey Havens, if they're going to have the Grey Havens. But I think that's what this is.
Look, they arrived at Arrakis. Let's just assume that.
I was about to say.
Okay. Frodo, the sound of waves and call of gulls. Frodo and Gandalf across the wet, shimmering sand. A small sailing boat lies at anchor. They head towards it. Behind them, Legolas and Gimli appear from the sand dunes. They make a stop at the side of the sea. Who's Legolas?
I don't know. I can be a Legolas.
I'm Gimli.
Okay.
The sea, at last they behold it. Wailing voices spoke of it. In dreams, it was the gold, Ellipses.
Gimli picks up a shell, inspects it, puts it to his ear.
Of some yet alive. Listen, Legolas. It will remind you of the elms.
Legolas listens to the shell. They look up. Frodo and Gandalf have waded into the sea and are being helped aboard the little vessel. Legolas shades his eyes. He can see several figures on the craft. Galadriel, Elrond, Bilbo, and Arwen.
That's why Frodo's...
no!
That's why Frodo...
What's going to happen in that vessel now? Oh no!
This is a horrible orgy with this 13-year-old being exposed to live pornography.
Yeah,
The blessed...
Elrond, Bilbo, Arwen, and Gandalf is awkwardly standing in the corner.
God.
Yeah, the blessed realm indeed.
Yeah. The boat is cluttered with ancient tomes, mysterious alchemical objects, beautiful cloth, and dried fish.
That's quite a combination of things.
Also, I'm glad the Grey Havens has just been reduced to a beach.
Yep. It was probably because they didn't think they could get it at the budget for anything after they did the freaking massive ass battle. They greet the newcomers with smiles and gentle embraces. Their lips move, but Legolas cannot hear what they say.
You know what I think? I think they spent all their budget on kites for those orcs.
They spent all the budget on those flames coming from the horse's nose.
So much of the script would have had to been cut out for budgetary reasons because they would not have given a fantasy movie in the 70s this kind of budget.
Yeah, this budget just seems insane even to our modern standards.
I think that now it would be... I think now it wouldn't be as bad. I think that in the 70s it would have been insane.
I don't know. Some of the, there's just a lot of stuff. It would be wicked expensive.
Maybe. There's honestly less spectacle in this than in Return of the King since you don't have the Mumakil.
Well, but you have the two giants with the orcs driving it and the kite orcs.
Game of Thrones
and the Batwing
had...
orcs. You've got Batwing orcs that are also lizard bird things.
And you got the glacial scene.
You have troll orcs and orcs.
You got the werewolves.
And the sex is expensive, no comment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
Wolvie Pup just turned up for this degeneracy.
Thank you. That's funny.
Thanks for your support of this insanity.
We're almost done. We're almost done.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
And though the loss of the fair people depart, ellipsis forever.
They look at each other disconsolately. Gimli indicates their surroundings, the beach.
This is romantic.
Is it like Wakanda forever, ellipses forever?
Yeah.
Let us stay here. 'Tis neither cave nor forest.
Ellipsis will return.
Legolas nods contented agreement. And he gets on one knee and proposes to Gimli. Then when Gimli says yes, they kiss.
It is not quite leaving, nor is it quite remaining, for a beat that between, like the twilight.
Men may need others than men.
Gimli looks out to sea.
No
the little
comment.
craft moves away. He squints
Yeah,
but
they
cannot
need
make out
pregnant
Frodo
babies.
or Gandalf. He cups his hand to his ear. Immediately he hears Gandalf's voice.
Across the ocean, I shall talk less and laugh more. Don't ask me what that means.
But it is a hobbit's laugh that comes tinkling over the sound of the waves, and it belongs unmistakably to Frodo. He laughs happily, and the others join him. A rainbow arcs up on the water beyond the little craft.
Oh, no.
That is such cheesy bull crap.
So come on, we know John Boorman at this point. We know what he's saying. Reason why Frodo is laughing.
That is such cheesy bad Disney bullcrap. Sod off.
Bio.
Look, only
I don't think
7.
he's sorry.
Oh no, sorry.
I'm
Go for
just going to say that I don't think he's laughing about anything Disney that would be in a Disney film.
Probably not. He laughs happily. Okay, look, only 7 colors. Indeed, the world is failing. The tiny vessel sails on, a smudge in the glistening sea. And we're done. We're done. That's it. That's it.
We're done! Do you have music to celebrate her?
There were so many levels of what the fuckery.
I'm disappointed there wasn't another Galadriel sex scene.
I wanted more like celebrate good time. Like
I don't have that. I have this.
I am so pissed. What have you done? You killed it.
I am so goddamn angry that I just finished yelling into a microphone for about 8 minutes in the bathroom before I got on here so that I could go ahead and not just lapse into a profanity-laced rant that would just get your channel banned. I am so goddamn disgusted, Gary, on so many levels.
I swear to God, if you come within my arm's reach, I will strangle each and every motherfucking one of you in front of the goddamn camera, and they can take me to jail for all I care. You filthy sons of bitches. I hope you all die of herpes. Do you understand? You can't even die of herpes, and I hope you do.
Maybe they could, like, get it on their lungs.
Worst fucking movie in the history of movies.
I like how the ringtone was still going on while the clip was being presented.
Yeah, that was the bass department calling.
Why? Because the movie was written by monkeys.
It seems as though John Boorman didn't get the advice from the ever loquacious and eloquent and Mr. Aaron Kruger.
Beginning, middle, end. Facts, details, condense, plot, tell.
Yeah. Oh my goodness!
This is one of the worst things I've read.
I've forgotten what Legolas' final line was. I think it's only 5 colors, only 7 colors. It's kind of a downer.
Like, how did you mess up your conclusion that badly? People may complain all they want about the endings of.
Well, I like how the lady didn't seem fazed by the yelling and just laughed.
Yeah, like you can complain about how the ending, like there's so many endings of Return of the King.
At least they were satisfying.
You had payoff. They were there because the story needed it. This one, it's just like, yay, we won. Now let's do our critique. Now Aragorn is like.
Oh, the litigators. Now we got to do our litigators while legless veterans sit in the background. Oh, we're just going to waltz over the Shire. We're going to skip over the rest of Middle Earth. Okay, here we are. We're with a bunch of sand dunes. Okay, here come the elves. Oh, here's Galadriel. Now Frodo laughs happily. Legolas and Gimli are still on the dune and apparently propose or something. And ellipsis.
Then Gandalf
Frodo,
shouts
Merry,
something.
and Pippin are just back in Minas Tirith, I think.
Yeah, they just decided to stay there. Not care anything about their home, about the Shire, about...
If it was a person, I would strangle it, burn the body, and proudly declare to the world that I had done it, and no jury would convict me.
Yeah!
Merry and Pippin just decided to become an Italian and a clown in Minas Tirith.
This is just asinine.
And then,
Rings of Power has I will admit, I agree with you, Ninja. Rings of Power has got to work hard to be worse than this, because with this one it feels like they were actively trying to be bad.
Yeah, it just felt like a porn parody that didn't know when to stop.
Well, much like how we found out like last stream, like a Monday, about how like, oh, I wanted. That was the real. That was like the real attitude of like, that was like the creators of a creator who didn't want to make Lord of the Rings the way it's written.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Let's get rid of all the Catholic stuff and put sex in its place.
Exactly, and or like none of the thing. They basically go, "Oh, this seems like a nice story. Okay, I'm just gonna change it completely on my own without any understanding of why. We're just gonna just add my stuff because my stuff is better than this work." Like at least in the Rings of Power, we may find out in the final product, it doesn't look like that extreme yet.
Yeah.
Like,
this looks like a cheap 70s. This is very much like a comparatively like cheaply cost cheap 70s movie that just has like rows and rows of lancers and stuff. But for summary, how did you guys find the script? And how did it come into being? Okay. So, I was watching Folding Ideas video on Ralph Bashke's Lord of the Rings. And he put up some screenshots while he was like going over the history of the production. Because apparently John Boorman wrote the script for Lord of the Rings in the 70s. And he said, This script is buck wild. It's nuts. Galadriel has sex with Frodo. Boromir and Aragorn kiss with Arwen's blood on their mouths. And the story of the ring is told by a kabuki rock opera. With substantiating screenshots on the screen for each piece, and I was like, is this freely available? If so, I need to read this live. And I found it after like just 2-second Google search, downloaded the PDF, and here we are 12 fetching hours later.
Yeah. I'm just amazed. I now want to see other scripts, like quote unquote bad scripts, like
bad scripts that were never made.
Well, they need to be bad and funny.
Yeah, imagine like all the scripts that like get in that are super bad. Imagine how bad the ones that get rejected have to be.
Yeah, they would have to be like this, like well, Bakshi is like, even as a kid, I didn't like it as much because of the blood stuff as a kid, but it didn't look as good as like the route as the other Rankin Bass stuff. But even then,
rest in peace, your souls.
Just a reminder, this script did get rejected.
Yeah.
Please, I have no soul.
J.J. Abrams' Superman script.
Oh no!
I've heard some bad things about that. I kind of
Nicolas Cage.
I think that I don't know if I think that would have been the Tim Burton Superman.
But
I don't know.
But
I do know that there was a guy, like Kevin Smith told a story about this John Peters guy who's apparently utterly freaking insane and wanted Superman to be fighting a giant mechanical spider and a polar bear. for some reason, and that he didn't. And he said, and this is his words, not mine. So this is not a slur against the LGBTQ community. He said, "I don't want him wearing that faggy costume."
Interesting.
Yeah. So, man.
I think this Boorman strip would have been improved if Frodo fought a polar bear.
Honestly,
Damn it! We want our zombie polar bear.
Pregnant zombie polar bear. Come on.
There is so much stuff that could improve this script, but that would require actual effort.
Will Smith is Superman. Okay, that'd be interesting.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Justin Timberlake. Josh Hartnett, I can understand to a certain extent, but Justin Timberlake is a terrible choice.
So what are we talking about? Justice League?
Imagine Will Smith, the Superman, circumnavigating the globe and saying, it's rewind time as he rewinds time.
Alrighty. Well, I think we will have to end with the only appropriate analogy for this movie, and that is this.
Okay. Let me make one thing perfectly clear. This is not jumping the shark. I'm going to repeat that again. This is not jumping the shark. Oh, no. This is jumping the shark, coming back, shooting it in the balls, raping it,